And I ain't gonna say the other one because y'all know I always break.
Yeah.
I always break up with
Kicking and company.
It's a little cold.
What's up,
I
Miss
always
Alice?
break
How
up
you
with something.
doing?
So, it's kicking and
Y'all already know
company,
we in this building, goddamn. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Cool outside.
Cold.
It's a little
Fuck
frosty.
cool.
I believe it was
Frosty cool.
75 last
Frosty
week.
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I was like 78.
I knew you all were
And
going to
this
have me
week
back
is 38.
today.
Oh, yeah, we got to bring you back, Joe. You know we had to bring you back, man. All day long.
Last time I was leaving, I heard him say it'd be a cold day before you ever let him come.
When?
That's the joke of the day right there.
Yeah.
Hey, that was just our first.
Y'all be trying to steal my joke of the day now.
That was just our first meeting. You know, we the group since then. We done met you a couple of more times. You know what I'm
He
saying?
said they said it was a cold day in hell before you
All
come
day
back.
long, man. All
We ain't
day
never
long.
bringing his ass back. He said that's what y'all said.
We got kicking and company today, y'all. Salute your boy. Everybody, two hands salute.
Yes, Jabbar.
Everybody.
Hey, cousin.
Today
Hey.
is our 314 episode. 'Cause that's Tuesday.
That's
So,
Tuesday.
yeah.
Happy 314 day.
Happy
early.
Yeah,
314
it was on a Monday
everybody.
last year.
We represent.
Two
We
hands
are, we are,
salute.
we
I
are
need
so
my
St.
ginger
Louis
ale
around
out
here.
there.
So St. Louis.
When you
And
be
then
out
in the
there, you'll
building.
have y'all.
it's our election episode today.
Election
Yes, we had
episode.
an
What's up, Miss
election
Anderson? How you doing?
on Tuesday.
Last
Did y'all
Tuesday,
get y'all
salute.
butts out there?
know
Last
they did.
Tuesday, we got another one coming up.
March, in April.
April 4th.
Yeah.
April
Hey.
4th,
And it
so
always one in April.
We're going to tell you about
Joe,
It's
you gotta
always
let 'em
one
know.
in April. This
You gotta let them know
March
that
one
the
was
local
new.
elections are way
Preliminary.
more important than your national
We were
elections.
just talking about
I,
it.
Everything
I
St.
agree
Louis
with that. I
does
mean,
today is
you're
What are you
right.
gonna
I don't give a fuck about no
What you know.
presidency shit.
Hold on.
I want to see who's gonna be running this raggedy
I
motherfucker.
want to know, what are you going to do about air pollution, Joe?
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know,
Honestly,
no, I mean,
that's a bunch of
I mean,
bullshit too.
Right.
These are national.
Because I look at the news every day, and back in the day, and when it's cold, back in some 1921, it was 70 and 80 degrees outside. They wasn't saying that shit back in the day. Hell,
And these are national issues.
Right.
that's some
Locally,
bullshit.
roads
And
and stuff like that.
they really-
We had somebody in the new area that I hope to represent shot and killed last night. It was on the news.
Is that right?
That's
See, I didn't even watch the news last night, and I usually watch all the news.
I've been watching news.
You a damn lie. You a damn lie.
I was just telling about that.
Lately?
Samsung TV.
Man, stop it, man. You on that bullshit, man. I
Oh,
told
they
you,
got
man.
news on there.
Well,
They
it's
got
a
all
lot
of
of
them.
it's a lot of
Chris?
St. Louis
Two hands
topics
salute,
that we
Maurice.
can get
Everybody,
into.
two hands
I mean,
salute everybody.
So the first
Amelia.
one that I found, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's the
Thanks,
300,000 population mark of the city.
300,000?
St.
So
Louis
the
City.
St. Louis city was built originally for a population of 300,000
That's what it was.
or
built.
more.
or more.
Right.
But then everybody's moving to the county, of course, which is separate.
Uh-huh.
So how does that affect the city? Do we get? I think we get special benefits and stuff. I guess
just
as far
like
as
So what you
So
saying?
what it
Everybody
is-
leaving?
that's what
that
the
month?
census
So what
is.
you saying? Everybody
they've been,
leaving?
they've been leaving.
They've been leaving.
So
First
they-
of all, they when they redid the downtown area,
Of course.
okay, they put everybody
They
out
get
and
you
they
out.
went to North County.
Yes.
North County has we got too many people out there
St.
now.
Charles County, they gonna be coming out their way in a little bit.
They're going out there. So what it
Don't
means,
fake it.
the executive director of the St. Louis Development Corporation
All day.
says that the population loss can cause the city to lose out on grants, funding,
Of
and
course.
more.
You don't got nobody down there want to
It's
live
just
in
like
this
school.
motherfucker.
It's just like the schools. It's about the people.
Well,
How many people show up? How many people there? That's why they do the census and all of that.
What a school system that make you want to move around this motherfucker?
No, I'm
What you
saying the
did.
school-
Not in
Schools
St.
are-
Louis City.
the
If you
schools-
don't live on the South St.
Exactly.
Louis or you go to magnet
point.
schools,
My point.
you are shit out of luck as
My
far as
point.
education in the
Because
city.
I wouldn't move my kids to no
But you
motherfucking
still,
neighborhood
I'm
in this
just saying,
school ragged
the
as a
schools
motherfucker.
still don't get no money if the
my
kids
niece
ain't
was
turned.
going.
I'm sorry, that
for the
means
magnet
everything.
school on the South Side, right? She had situations that occurred where she ended up having to go to Beaumont.
All day long.
This girl didn't even have to study her last 2 years
Why not?
because everything they taught her, she already knew.
Already knew.
That's been
Boy,
going on
y'all
forever.
so far behind, it's ridiculous.
It was like that when people stopped going to private school and go to regular
like
school.
a motherfucker.
My little cousin then was sitting there like, Girl, I did this when
Been
I was
there
in
and did
8th
all
grade.
that. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And all the funding from the lottery goes to the schools that don't even need it.
Exactly.
They make good schools better.
Wasn't that
They
for
don't
them?
make the struggling schools acceptable.
Of course.
I'm talking about, wasn't that the reason why they started the lottery?
That's what
I
they
thought the
lied and
lottery
said.
was
The commercials,
specifically
right?
for
The
them.
commercials.
But
say-
it goes the lottery thing and everything and the No Child Left Behind and all of that kind of stuff. If you don't pass these
So you mean you have a
educational
certain amount of population going to this shit?
No,
That's
it's
it.
not that.
Grades, too. You
It's
need grades.
the kids have to pass these tests,
Yes, of course,
right?
of course.
And then they have to have they have to be there. And
Well,
they have to be
attendance
there
means
on
everything,
time.
most definitely.
Attendance,
That
okay.
means more than anything.
But in the hood, when your mama is at work
Bringing your
and
ass
your
to school
daddy
30
is
minutes
at
late.
work, no, it's not just that. And you're responsible for getting there.
Most
But you
definitely.
have to do that when
Of
you
course.
have parents that are working and all of that. All of that shit is lower. When you are in areas where the women are at home all day and the men are working,
Yeah.
those are good areas. The kids are getting to school
Because the
on
mama's,
time.
because the mama's
Of course.
taking them.
I
It's
never
a
missed
difference.
school. I never missed school.
Fair, it was a different time.
Well, see,
Nah,
I'm just
it's just
saying.
certain people.
This is what I'm saying. I never missed school.
now see, and my story is that I came home with all F's and 1D.
Oh,
Who
Lord.
you did, Joe?
No, I didn't really.
Oh, okay.
But my mom said, do you know what this means? I said, yes, I overexcelled in one subject. Just silliness.
Hey,
you know, but
Another joke of the day.
Y'all be stealing my stuff now.
But the whole,
What's up,
but the whole,
How do you
Everybody
feel
today.
about that? Our education system. All these schools are abandoned. These big, huge
Yeah.
schools, and they're all boarded up.
And until we fix that, until we fix the neighborhoods, but that ain't gonna happen. And
It's not.
you know, when you get up
There's
to,
no hope.
back in the day, it was white flight. Man, black
Yep.
people were
Right,
moving.
yep.
We got
Yep.
the hell.
We
everybody
got the fuck
right.
about this motherfucker.
But it's not that right now. Most people leaving the city are black people.
Yes.
Because in their neighborhood, they're tired of laying on the floor while guns are being
Damn
shot in their
real.
house and stuff
I
like
got
that.
a bullet
Not
hole
being
through
able
my
to
window
walk
right
down that
now.
street and not be scared that you're gonna get pulled into a motherfucking vacant house and killed and raped.
Nigga, I got a bullet hole through my window right now.
And that's in North County.
Exactly.
You know, and
North County just as bad.
Stop it. It ain't nowhere safe no more.
well, and it has to change. I mean, it really does. In the problems on the younger black kids.
Oh, it's crazy.
If you're not one of us, you're one of them. I am.
That's
so,
a fucked up mentality to have, though.
Well,
you know what I'm
it
saying?
is, but you know.
That's a fucked up mentality to have. Just like I told you, they go to jail for stealing cars. They not even trying to go they wasting their felonies. I grew up at a time, if I'm gonna waste my felony, these motherfuckers are gonna get wasted on trying to get some
people
money.
went to jail in our time for stealing cars. I
Yeah,
know
they
about
did.
10 of
But
them.
I'm talking about
What are you talking
not
about?
like they do it now, Briggs. This shit is not like it was back then. Niggas wasn't just purposely running red lights on purpose and doing all that type of shit, B.
We stole cars.
I understand too. Y'all stole cars to get rid of them motherfuckers.
I ain't said we, because
Well,
I ain't
hold
steal
on,
nobody car.
well,
I'm
I
letting
said-
you motherfuckers know.
hey,
My mom and daddy
hey.
took care of a bitch. I ain't never had to steal
Hey,
shit.
I never was
But
thief because I got money my
I've
whole
been
life.
in
I'm a
stolen
hustler.
cars.
But I'm saying, what they doing now is not what they was doing
They're
back then.
not doing
B.
it smart. Like when my brothers
Exactly.
had cousins that would steal a car, they would come get me and I would drive. Because
I'm not driving
I'm a
shit.
woman. I'm not gonna
driving
get
shit.
pulled over as much. And I'm gonna follow
What's up,
the
Miss
laws.
Harvey?
Yeah, I
Houston
did
in the
it.
building.
Statute of limitations up, so fuck y'all.
Exactly. You can
But
talk about the shit now.
we were
Shit.
smart. They were smart. If they was gonna steal a car, they was gonna drive it just like it was theirs.
They want. What I'm saying, you wasn't finna be joyriding that motherfucker.
They were
They
driving
joyride,
it
but they
just
didn't-
like it was
they didn't-
really their car.
Oh man, I could never be a.
They
thief
didn't
before I park in.
run lights
'Cause-
and do different things that would get them pulled
Sis,
over.
if I'm gonna steal a car, that means I'm stealing a car. I'm going to get rid of. I'm trying to make some money off this
We stole
motherfucker.
my
I'm going to
auntie
chop
car
this
go to
motherfucker
Saints.
up
What are
and
you
everything.
talking about? We stole the car to go party. We stole my auntie car to go
Hell
to
no.
East Side.
Hey, everything
Kids
I
are
do has got to be
dumb.
about money. It's been my whole life. If I'm gonna steal a car, that motherfucker can stole for some money.
Kids are
No faking.
dumb.
Exactly.
Okay.
They going to jail for stealing, for basically just taking somebody's car, and I'm gonna go to jail. And then he get locked in and crying.
Fail. Most of us were middle class kids coming up. We wasn't broke ass kids. My mama owned her house 100%. We wasn't broke, but we still did dumb shit.
Yeah.
It was people
I know rich kids who
mamas
did dumb
had
shit
more
too.
money than us
Still
and was
do
selling
it.
crack.
All day long, rich kids do it
Kids
too.
are dumb.
Bricks, I hung
Let's just
around.
admit it.
I hung around poor niggas, rich motherfuckers, and medium class, and they all do the exact
Do the same
same
thing.
shit.
'Cause kids
I looked at all my
are
rich
dumb.
partners and was like, boy, if you put me in y'all predicament, I would take advantage of that shit. My mom and daddy got big boy bread. But everybody not like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers would rather pick the
grandkids.
streets over doing good.
Anheuser-Busch's great-grandkids. We walked into their house, they was buying drugs and shit. We walked in their house, it looked like an after-school special.
I can believe that.
It was drugs I hadn't even
I can believe that.
heard about in health class.
I can believe
in this
that.
motherfucker.
No faking, I can believe that.
Rich,
I sold crack to
beyond
judges and everything.
measures, but dumb.
I sold crack to judges and everything.
I've been
So
there.
they're a human being. They just got a label on them, but they still a human being.
So it don't really matter.
It don't.
Kids of all
It don't.
age, all different things do
What's up,
fucked up
Paige?
shit. They're dumb. They don't
What's up,
know
Buzzo?
yet.
Well, I did it.
That
You
shit-
know, I managed it. I guess I was.
We learned and we
I
got
was.
through
Well,
it.
I did only because I got knocked on my butt.
Holly.
I OD'd when I was what, 14 or 15.
What you was messing with, y'all?
Weed.
No,
Ain't no OD on no motherfucking weed. What you was messing with, y'all?
A lot of everything. We were in our freshman year.
They had
We
heroin
did a
back
lot.
then.
They had
And
all
he
kinds of
was
fun.
on
They
the
had
tour.
This was the
mescaline, They had
70s.
all kinds.
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm saying.
This was the 70s,
What was the
right?
main dope in St. Louis back in them days, Joe?
mescaline, LSD, stuff
LSD
like
and
that.
shit like
what they used
that.
to be on that
but
LSD.
I've been there, did it.
And would
you
tar
know,
up everybody.
But I was blessed because I got
LSD
I
was
ended up
bad.
like in really bad.
That's that
shape.
water.
So, you know, I just
The
Well,
vomit fluid.
that water made my old. When I was in Kinlock,
I watched a lot of people
that
walk in
water made
circles
my
on that
old
shit.
dude jump out the fucking window, bare butt naked.
That was your old dude?
Nigga picked up a van. My mama left his ass because all the women kept talking about how big his dick was. That's why my mama left his ass. We left his ass right in Kinlock. That's my old dude. That's
no,
my old dude.
that stuff.
I
No
remember
fucking
that. I
faking,
remember
bitch.
that stuff
I done been
not
around
messed
every
with.
fucking drug. I done been around every dope fiend, everything my whole fucking entire life. I done seen motherfuckers pass away
I mean,
and
that's,
come back to
that's
life,
the
everything.
life for real.
No
I
faking.
seen more stuff like that by the time I was about 10 or 11 than most
All
people.
day long.
You know what I'm saying? We was,
All
we
day.
was down
What's
at
up,
Fairground
E-Beezy?
Park.
What's up with
we found a
everybody?
dead body in the lake in Fairground Park. We saw motherfuckers shot. We lived a street over from the road.
All day.
So you know, we saw everything.
Everything. You see everything.
We just were stupid. And
We
did
was
our
stupid.
thing.
Everybody
That's it.
was.
That's
Everybody
what-
did.
When I went to high school, at Southwest High School,
Oh, you went to Southwest.
keeping
Okay.
in mind, back in the day, at 14 years old, 15, when you go to high school, freshman year, they had a smoking lounge in the building.
We had one in McClure.
Yeah, so at 15 years old, you
What, for
could
the
actually
kids?
smoke. Yeah.
Yes, we could smoke on McClure
Oh, you
High
could
School
smoke right in
property.
the
That's
building.
where
They
we
had a
smoked
smoking lounge.
Boy, but no Winsfield wasn't going for that.
It was
Boy.
kind of
McClure
different.
had a smoking section until
Hey,
recently.
if you went to
Yo,
mid
get a bag
home,
of
remember
popcorn
that
in there.
shit.
It's about this
Real
big.
talk.
Where my bitch?
What's up, TZ? 2 hands salute everybody in the world. Shit.
You heard
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You get Joe and O'Doul.
Hell
But
no.
okay, but back
seriously.
to that because
I don't-
I'm still curious of I'm going right back to the school shit.
Right.
I'm
No,
still
it's
curious about that
Yeah, so-
because I remember I actually helped them vote the shit in. I remember when they was like, "Oh, get it over here," because my family that's what they do. They gamble, and we always went. I mean, it was a Saturday thing too.
To
You
go
went
to
to
Illinois
Illinois
to
right across the
play,
bridge
yes, to
to play the
gamble.
horses,
We bite Illinois everything they do.
the lottery and all of that stuff.
Why we can't
And
do
we
that?
fought. The main thing they brought out was if we vote in for the lottery to come to Missouri,
It's gonna
the
help the
money was
schools.
going straight to the schools for the
But
inner
we
city
didn't
schools and
bring
all
the
of that.
fine
And
line.
it never.
The
The roads has been worse, and all the schools have shut down.
We
So I'm
didn't bring
confused
the-
about the whole situation.
Well, not that I have any facts, but I believe what they do is that money goes there, but then the other money that was going there, they take away that wasn't
But
dedicated.
see, the money
That's
does-
just my opinion.
Some
I
of the
don't know
money
that.
doesn't even go there. In the school districts like I live
certain
in
percentage.
Riverview, they had to, first of all, they took their accreditation, right? Then they started doing everything to fight to get their credit, and they got it back and
they
everything.
got it
Several
back.
schools.
And but they still don't get all of the money if these kids
don't hit a
pass
certain grade.
Yes, these tests and
shit like that.
Their attendance isn't correct and all of those different things. But what they don't realize is it's harder in the inner city schools. And North County, because we in a city like a motherfucker now.
Look,
it is harder
everybody
than
else already had
Chesterfield and
they already had tablets and shit like that.
schools, they have all kind of shit.
Riverview them they were screaming for that shit when this epidemic was going on.
But when I was growing up, those were considered some of the better schools.
They was.
When you
they sure was.
Yes, they was. But I'm just saying that's when they brought the fucking money in. But that's when they brought the money in, so they still let that money fall.
In those areas.
Because Briggs, you know, McLuhan North and all them was known. That was
we got damn good education. My Ferguson Florissant School District ain't like they Ferguson Florissant School District.
Exactly, Briggs.
Okay,
so you know.
I can have a conversation with any intelligent motherfucker from the shit I learned at McLuhan.
McLuhan North was not, when I was growing up was considered top rated.
We were.
Real talk.
We was on TV. Our sports
everything.
went to state. We were everything.
No faking.
My McLuhan ain't like they McLuhan. Okay, we can do that. We can say that.
It's totally different.
So but that's just sad because if you bring it around back like that. It's still a race thing.
It is
because
a race thing.
Everybody always say it's never a race thing, but it is because now you telling me
as long as you're in America,
I'm black,
it's a race
now
thing.
Now that all the black people here in the same place where you got some of the same teachers that's been teaching for 40 years. I'm getting a different education.
Everything.
I'm getting a different education.
You are in Missouri, in America, it's a race thing. A race and money. It's an economic and
it's ridiculous. They don't teach the same thing.
You talking to a nigga who actually thought the teachers were teaching.
They were teaching me. They was teaching me.
They teach.
Ow! And you separate told me they give y'all ass an itinerary y'all gotta follow.
They do, but they still have to teach.
Not what I do, but the rest of the schools do.
You get what
everybody get taught the same thing, Phil.
Like a kid in a Santa Claus. I got this big perception of the teachers. Well, shit, they teaching me, goddamn. They
are teaching you.
Yeah, they is, but goddamn, they reading off a fucking goddamn script.
Well,
they are.
Because that's what this was.
It's just like mean I can be a teacher.
Anybody can.
If you know how to do it. Yeah.
If you weren't a felon.
If you know how to do it.
Fail. I told you with all of my degrees, I could go fill out and be a substitute teacher any fucking damn.
Anybody can be a sub now. You don't even need a degree.
And a substitute make more than the motherfuckers actually is teachers.
You can be a police officer too.
You do not.
You
do not. I work in
tell you I can't.
You do not have to have no college credit.
I got big hips. I'm not running for you bitches.
Hold on, Briggs.
Anybody can be a sub now. You just pass a test, go through
I
desks.
gotta ask Joe this.
Anybody can be a sub.
Joe, how you feel about making more money than a policeman?
I think that's the most jacked up thing.
Thank you, Joe.
Really? You know,
yes. How can they be making more money than a motherfucker out there putting his life on the
risk?
It's just $10,000. Joe Neal makes 75.
It isn't. You know,
stop it.
Still gonna make more. And I'm
stop it. I'm paying for everything.
For a part-time job, you know, if you're getting into being an alderman or politics for the money, that's the absolute wrong reason.
Yeah.
And what gets me, a county councilman, they have way bigger area and only make $20,000. A state representative has a giant area. They only make about 30-something thousand. That one really got me mad. I asked the mayor, please veto it.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yes.
It's wrong.
Oh, Miss Jones, you did that shit.
You want to talk about...
And won't even clean up the highway.
The police...
They won't even clean up the highway.
We're not even paying the people to pick up our trash, the people that are paving our streets.
Right.
We're not even paying them the right amount of money. What message are we sending? I mean, I think it's bullshit.
And with the alderman
I ain't mad
game.
at you because your pockets got
Okay,
though.
so let's also
but
talk.
I know for a fact you was the ones that voted against that shit.
Let's also talk about how in the alderman game, why is it entire families that are aldermen? How in the fuck? Or is it entire families and this ward is one of them and this ward is one of them and this ward is one of them? That ain't fair.
Yeah, because they passed that shit on.
No, they moved to other areas and live, get residence, and then vote and run. But they going off of their mama been doing it for years. They
mad at him though,
I'm mad at the system for letting them.
Bosley got lost. He lost.
What about Pamela? Is Pamela Boyd related to Jeffrey Boyd?
No.
Monopolize the city.
They monopolizing the aldermen.
I'm gonna be a part of it for her.
Pam Boyd's not related to Jeffrey.
I don't know. We got to be federally legal first.
Pam is just a very nice person.
Pam's good. You like her?
Oh, I like Pam. She, I don't want to.
Forgot which word she's in. I saw a couple of her signs.
But she just works hard for her neighborhood. Her husband.
See, I know Tamika.
Her husband is not
Hubbard.
Hubbard. I know the Hubbards. That's what I'm talking about.
Tamika's not. She didn't run. But I think someone in her family's running, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I know
one of the Hubbards is running.
All of them are in different wards. Her sister-in-law is running in one ward.
I think so.
Then she used to be over one ward. Her mama didn't be. To me, it's just not fair.
It's called nepotism.
It's nepotism.
Basically, you saying a motherfucker like me and you, we ain't got a chance because they already solidified about it.
And their family has a
it's a staple.
You see Hubbard.
That's what I'm saying.
You're like, okay, we know who they are. Yeah, it's like the Bushes or the Kennedys and different shit like that. You know, it's a Kennedy in the House of Representatives somewhere, all over the senators too.
Right.
I just don't think that.
I have no family member, and I can't even get my kids.
No, I don't knock
my
that.
kids and grandkids.
But I
don't
feel
even
what
talk
she's saying, though.
Politics.
A regular person wouldn't have a chance because they already a staple in
and they see
to a
Hubbard,
certain
so they're
extent,
automatically
but then you
gonna do
also want to sometimes you have a chance because they want to see fresh faces.
Hey,
Whenever Joe retires, I'm going to have him endorse me as a fresh face.
And what
I'm ready.
What you gonna hire me to do?
I'm ready.
You gonna be scared?
Deep.
But you gonna be scared to hire me?
I'll see what you can make my campaign.
Yeah, you got to.
The true definition, the word politics, Greek word poly for many, right?
Okay.
And ticks are blood-sucking vermin. So, I mean,
yay! Jump to day number 3.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum.
Oh, I thought that was true.
Hey, that's real shit, Joe. Don't fake it.
No, but I think that's true.
And they don't like the N-bomb. I almost called my N-bomb, so I just didn't do it.
That's an old Smothers Brothers thing.
I remember.
The one I like that they did, where they explained that the people in charge seem to wear more 3-piece suits, more clothes, and the party that's in but maybe not as in as the other party don't wear as much. So the one brother asked, well, what party's in charge? He said, oh, obviously the morons.
So, yeah.
No.
I love those.
That's what that old book, that's what I was saying. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't get, that motherfucker might look good, but that nigga the devil like a motherfucker. He'll fuck you over quicker than a motherfucker will with I got shit on, goddamn me.
Yeah.
Real talk.
That's pimping.
Rich people ain't shit.
That's pimping.
Rich people ain't shit. Flat out.
That's pimping.
They ain't shit. I'm telling them in their face, they ain't shit. They'll rob for me and you, and we ain't got goddamn thing.
Hello.
They'll rob for me and you.
Every day.
Brett Favre, the shit.
You ain't even lying.
Like every day.
So would you want to elect Brett Favre to be an alderman?
Fuck no. But you can steal everything.
He was one of my greats.
Real talk, so he can steal everything. What's up, Miss Pinky?
People with money, people without money. You need to judge them how they do the job. No matter what they do, it's how they do the job.
Oh, look at this guy.
He look like another alderman or something around this motherfucker.
Michael Browning, that's an alderman? I think he be laughing at my joke of the day every day. Michael Brock.
You coming in to join this rowdy bunch?
Oh, don't do us like that, Joe.
I got a couple out there.
Joe said it's rowdy.
Oh yeah, the rowdy bunch.
Joe, really?
He gotta come get some of this game.
This is a group.
Who this young man is?
This guy that made it all happen right here.
Oh, this guy that make it happen.
So I'm James Deering.
Okay, James Deering.
I'm a community developer, realtor, fan of some aldermen.
Hopefully me.
No, because he keeping it 100. He need what ward were you building up at?
Actually, I was a resident of the old 25th, the new 3rd.
Okay.
So, having voted in the primary, or the first election, it's hardly a primary anymore. So, I got to cast a vote for Shane.
Okay.
Well, he's the only
unopposed.
He's unopposed.
Unopposed.
His brother is my attorney, one of them.
Okay.
With me, it takes a couple. Because I'm not the smartest guy. His brother's my registered agent. So
okay.
If I'm being sued, you have to send it to his brother.
You got to talk to him.
He's got to get in line for all the cases I have to give him. And I have multiple attorneys because he can't handle the whole workload either. Because Joe's got them all jammed up.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
The world is all about who you know. I'm gonna tell you
something. It really is.
The world is about who you know people.
He sat on the
commission.
The board with me.
The last one was CREA.
Yeah, CREA. Which I'm gonna tell you something right now. We sat on CREA together.
Oh, okay.
The Civil Rights Enforcement Agency, right? And the problem with the city CREA, it's messed up. I got even though I watch my language, you can hear.
And I'm gonna tell you. I'm
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's messed up.
Okay.
Because CREA, supposedly, if my civil rights are violated, that's who I should go to is CREA, okay, in the city.
And this is for St. Louis right here?
For St. Louis. Now, if I work for the city of St. Louis, and I want it, and we agreed that CREA should have its own attorney, but they won't let CREA have its own attorney. They use the city attorneys. If I'm a city employee and I feel my civil rights were violated, you're going to go to the city attorneys. They're going to be on both sides. How the hell's that work? The other thing,
that's a public defender. That's a public defender.
That's like the workman's comp doctors. That's like the workman's comp
doctors. That's like a regular person getting a public defender.
Like a motherfucker.
Well, it's not only that. Let's just say your civil rights are violated, okay? You say the city, I'm suing Joe because he represents the city, and I'm suing him, or just somebody that works for the city for my civil rights. Do you really think the city attorneys are going to give you a big judgment?
Hell
no. They're not going to fight for you.
CREA should have its own attorney that is separate from the city, that has rights, and that's why I stepped away from it, because I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time if, everybody on that board said it needs its own attorney.
That sounds like some Roger Goodell shit going on.
Well, it's how do let's just say you're suing me, okay, me personally, but you got to go to me, and I'm going to represent you and me.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm going to give you 10 cents?
Like,
I'm
going to say
you're my lawyer. And I'm suing you.
Right, and I'm also the guy that's defending and suing.
Man, just the fact you say you work for the city, big.
It's a conflict of interest.
Yes, it's a conflict of interest. You work for the city, big.
But are you still on CREA?
No, I resigned. Charles Bryson
that's who got
retired. I'll say it. Was retired.
He retired too.
And then we had a new director, and I was done with my term and my time.
But
on that commission.
But they don't, in my opinion, they can't do anything without their own attorney. They cannot.
They ain't got a chance in hell.
Well, if you feel like for some reason your civil rights violated, under whatever circumstances, without an attorney, all they can do is feel sorry for you. Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
That's
sad. That sure is. That's sad.
It's my opinion, but until they actually get and fund their own attorney that I've been fighting for, it really, to me.
You know what, Joe?
It does.
Good luck on that one.
Well, it needs to be done.
And you saying what you saying is 1,000% But man, you know they ain't finna fuck up that, man. They ain't finna get no power to nobody else. So then everybody, their mama could come sue them and lose out on big settlements and judgments and shit like that, man.
Well, then don't be serious about it, you know?
I mean, seriously.
Real talk, big. Straight up.
It isn't that, but it's the truth. I mean, don't be serious then.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you on that one. Yeah, I feel you 1,000.
I feel bad for people that come there with real hope and
He said real.
Say keep hope alive.
Look, they hope. Look, I know this is wrong.
Keep hope alive.
Hopes and dreams only go so far.
St. Louis, Missouri, St. Louis City they gonna reimburse me. I'm pretty sure they will.
no, it just really,
St. Louis City won't even clean their highways. Don't play with me.
Hey, Miss Jones, once again, clean these goddamn highways.
That's next on our list. Our first topic was about schools. How do you feel about the city schools? How can we make them better? Is there funding available? Should we just give up? What do we do with all these abandoned buildings?
Well,
Damn.
that's a mouthful. So, schools.
That's what she said.
I sent my 2 daughters all through St. Louis City public schools,
Okay.
and they got a great education. Now,
What years? What year?
they're now. Grace is 28 and Hope is 25, but
Okay.
they went
younger than mine.
well. They went through Cannard, which has to be called something different now, I think, because
I think it's still.
I heard of that school.
It's Kennard, but that's not a public school. That's like a magnet.
Well, it's a
or,
That's a magnet
That's
school.
not a-
but it is part of SLPS, and it is a magnet school. It's a gifted program,
But magnet schools
and they have to
are totally
and they have to test
different
it.
from the regular public schools.
Most definitely.
Well, it's a better
in
school.
your opinion.
It's a
No,
better
they
school,
are
truth.
different.
but it is still part of St.
It's-
Louis public
But
schools
they
system.
have to be accepted. They have
Right.
to, and all of that.
They have
it's
to
not
test
a public
in,
school.
and yeah.
The
Yeah, we don't want no
public
dumb
schools,
motherfuckers
they
coming
walk
in.
through the
But-
door and they're there.
We don't want no
The
dumb
public
motherfuckers coming in.
schools that you walk through the door in the city
You
suck
get teach
ass.
different. But they already, he just
We
said
don't want no
it.
dumb motherfuckers coming in, Briggs.
Oh, all right.
no
So
dumb
there's
motherfuckers coming
there's
in.
So
there's
what he's
neighborhood
saying is
schools.
not what we're saying. We already said the magnet schools are awesome.
Yeah.
We're saying the
Everybody
public
named mama.
school system.
Everybody, their mama would love to
Basic
send their
school.
kids to the greatest
Well,
schools
I-
of all
They
time.
would, but they
Yeah.
don't get accepted. They have
Exactly.
stupid ass rules with magnet schools that if you black from the county, you can't go to the magnet schools in the city. But if you white from the county, you can.
That don't make that is. That's opposite.
Okay,
That's opposite.
I got the letter. I know what it
They
means.
do that.
That's
But,
opposite.
but I will say this: the teachers at least the ones I know have their heart in it. Whether the schools or whatever.
Even the
we got
suck ass
some really
schools,
good
the teachers aren't the problem.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's the funding, right? You got a good
It's
teacher
us
in a
paying
bad
our
school,
taxes,
or a
us
bad
gambling,
teacher in a
us
good
doing that. And if you're at
So you saying
a
somebody's stealing the money?
regular, huh?
Somebody stealing the money.
They put the money in the magnet schools. That's why Beaumont look like that. That's why Soda ain't look like that. The money is going to the magnet
So you
schools.
saying they intentionally trying to knock all the goddamn city schools? Hey, I'm gonna tell you.
Did you wake up black?
Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, little sis. I'm gonna tell you who is helping. It's helping all them schools out in the county where you got all these black dudes that's going out to the school, and so you get more athletes. 'Cause when it's all boils down, sports
Still rule the
everything.
schools,
It
too.
rule the schools.
I'm gonna tell you
like
guys
high school
something.
football. You got a lot of black dudes not going to these counties. You see a lot of these schools that's blowing up in school.
Talking about
That's because-
busing?
Yes, and football brings a lot of money to schools.
And I don't think busing and all
Straight
of that
up,
should be done.
and that's what's going on. And I say about 15. I'm gonna say about 15 years, 20. I don't think it's
I
gonna
don't
be no
think-
school around here. Over.
I don't
I
think,
think everybody gonna be going to county
busing
schools.
them out of their neighborhood to other neighborhoods to make the revenue is good either.
Well, I feel what you
They
saying.
need to be in their
But would
own
you go
neighborhood,
against
in
it
their
if it's
own
gonna-
school, and get that revenue
I feel
from
what you
that
saying
area.
1,000,000%. But would you let your kids still do? You would still want your kid to go to the best of school, though. Even
My
though you
kids
stand in
go
the
to
city.
the school in my area.
No, that's what I'm saying. But if you stayed in the city and they shut all that shit down, you still gonna want your kids to go to the best of school.
I would get my black ass up and get enough money to move to that.
I don't see. That's what
But
I'm saying.
wherever I live,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
what I support, and that's what I'm gonna keep.
Well, you would hope that area has a good school district that you support.
If they don't,
Hey,
then I
is
would
what
move to
this?
a better.
go.
Do I get to ring in
Yeah,
or
you get
something
the
like
ring.
that?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Tell me,
Go
you want
ahead.
to talk.
All
Tell us
right.
that business.
Okay, so you had an experience with Kennard School.
Kennard
And you
and
liked
then
that one.
McKinley and Metro. And
Okay.
yes,
and Metro,
okay, yes, they are
Let the
magnet
man
schools.
talk, yeah.
They are a gifted track. and they were very good. They prepared my daughters for college to the extent they both went to private 4-year universities and actually found the work at college easier than what it was at Metro. But I will tell you, the neighborhood schools, there is an effort, and everyone that wants to go to a magnet school, they can apply, and there's all these specialty schools. So you can go in your neighborhood, or you can enroll and apply to get in, which aren't the same criteria that different ones at Standard, but you have the opportunity for a variety of types of education. And our past superintendent, I'm forgetting his name. Calvin Adams. That man did a phenomenal job of bringing the school district back to accreditation and provisional, and the schools made a lot of strides.
He did such a good job that he left that motherfucker and went to her store.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And so I'm gonna tell you
how good of a job he did.
Why the schools aren't that good. The schools a lot of times are okay. It's the kids aren't doing that well.
They don't want to do no work.
Well, who are we gonna blame on that? The teachers?
Well, no,
the district?
Might got a point there.
A lot of it's the parents. I'm going to lay it on the parents.
I'm finna say don't, because whoever said the teacher, I'm going to flip this motherfucker. I'm going to flip this table.
Ain't nobody going to say the teacher.
Y'all better not say the teachers.
You can't say her as a teacher, but all teachers ain't good teachers. There's a lot of fucked up ass teachers too.
But that's not the whole.
And 9 times out of 10, if you're a fucked up ass teacher, you're at a fucked up ass school.
But that's
so they're getting fucked up ass shit.
Fucked up attitude.
With parents that don't do shit.
What about the ones that do?
We talked about that. We talked about that earlier.
Thing, automatic.
You know, one of the bigger problems that you said, Brick, earlier, the mom and dad are at work all day. The kids are having to raise themselves.
City children we're talking about. We're not talking about fairy tale out in other counties. We talking about kids who parents may not be there to tell them to take your ass to school. Why is they trying to put food on the table?
They're working.
It's a different situation in inner city kids going to regular public schools than it is for regular kids in Chesterfield.
So we need more mentors.
There's no competition.
But that ain't. But that ain't, when they're passing out the money to fix the schools, that's not taken into consideration.
No, because the money is going to Chesterfield schools.
That's what I'm saying.
All the money going to Chesterfield schools.
Well, that's a different.
You know what I'm saying? That's why.
Well, that's a different budget for the county schools, though, than the city school budget.
I don't give a fuck about budget.
First of all, the reason why fucking schools basically failing now is because y'all ass took prayer out and you took ass whooping out.
Praying ain't doing shit, and I ain't never get my ass whooped at school.
When I bought down, you still got in trouble. I ain't get whooped either, but you still got in trouble. When kids, it's all about discipline. Nobody has no fucking discipline. Nobody don't believe in shit, and nobody don't have no discipline.
I have my own desk in the principal's
office. Praying in school ain't making you believe in
I
nothing.
spend more time sitting outside there than
I'm not gonna pray to somebody else's God. Don't have my kids praying. Have my kids praying, and
it ain't no different than them making them stand up and pledge allegiance to the flag. They do that. They still do that. Shit,
I don't do that either.
They do it every day in school.
I guess kind of checks and balances. Didn't the city of St. Louis get like $500 million from COVID funding?
Right, but then it's
and then where does that? How is that appropriated?
Well, a lot of it.
Not to us.
I mean, it's going.
Not to potholes.
No, well, no.
Not going to potholes.
I already ride my 24s, Joe.
No, you can't. What the heck's going on?
It's regular ass streets.
Is that because you're getting too
big?
It might be.
Joe.
I know.
Joe, if I ride down this street and I hit one pothole, you know what them dudes with them big ass rims?
I know.
I want to sue your ass because you ain't got your fucking shit together.
Well, here's the deal. Man. If you see a pothole,
you ain't gonna win here, city official.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
This is true.
Because he did. I'm pretty sure he did shit like that.
If you see a pothole and you turn it in to Citizen Service Bureau where it's got a number, they're supposed to fix it within I think it's 48 hours, whatever it is.
Supposed to.
But no, if they don't, because I've turned in many of people that call me, you can put a claim in. You know,
Yes,
they have
you
to.
can.
They have
Yeah,
to.
he ain't like I heard people doing that before. They'll reimburse you for your shit.
I called the Citizen Bureau twice to take the trash out in the back, and they keep always forget my trash.
Well, you gotta.
And they won't give me a recycle bin either. I talked to them. We know about those trash people, I tell you.
Well, those guys. I'm gonna tell you something there too. Again, you got guys that are dedicated to the city. They don't pay them enough. Those guys could easily go.
They don't care about my trash can.
They can make 3 times
Y'all
that.
just told on them.
No, they can make way more money going to a
Yes.
private company. We're going to pay you $18, $19. Drive one of them trash trucks in these little alleys and stuff. I'm telling you what, those guys are very skilled. And
So don't hit nothing.
what's happening to our employees? The ones that are really dedicated to the city, they stick it out and stay.
That's because that's what they used to.
But other people decide they want to make money, and you know they go for the money, and they have to. You got to.
I mean, you get to a place where you just get used to it. You used to a place where fuck it, I'm comfortable here. Why would I mess my comfort? Because for real, comfortability is worth more than any money you can give for a motherfucker.
Well, and they're so short-handed,
like a motherfucker.
You know, and until we quit paying the alderman jacked up double everybody else's salary, you know.
Joe, the money they gave y'all make me want to be an alderman. And I don't know shit about that shit. But goddamn, they giving y'all some big boy bread, big.
It's bull. It's you know, even though we can say cuss words on here, I'm trying not to. But it's wrong.
Yeah.
It sends a wrong message to every city employee.
So how many aldermen are going to say, I don't want this money?
Well, you know,
I don't knock
them. To be honest with you, you know, what's that? I'm sorry.
I don't knock them.
Before they get that money, they need to clean up the highway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't knock them. I don't knock him.
Well,
Joe, he went against the shit, but I ain't knocking Joe for getting that money.
And that's where it starts. And it starts with trash too. Let's say I want to invest money into the city, right? But then I have trash laying around everywhere, and it starts with the small things.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like Miss Jones. People say that's the Department of Motor Vehicle. That's the Department of.
And she they boss.
That's what her people said. She said that you do know that's not her job. That's the state of Missouri.
When we voted, I ain't even vote for the bitch. I'm from the county, but I don't care. It's her city.
Thank you.
I bet you anybody else was on the phone with MoDOT making sure, and bitch, it's your city. So if have to, you need to get some of them criminals that you got sitting in a motherfucking room all day, every day, and take their ass out there.
She probably got a junkie house too. She probably got a junkie.
I don't know her personally.
How much responsibility does she have? Did we put too much weight on her shoulders?
No.
No, that's easy shit.
As Miss,
it didn't look like that when Slay was the mayor. It didn't look like that when nobody else was the mayor. Even Bosley ass had the highway clean. So yes, bitch, it's your fault. Because since you have been in office, I wouldn't tell nobody to drive in St. Louis from Illinois. You better come the county way.
I won't come back to the highway show me. If I wasn't from here and I rode through these highways, I'd be like, I wouldn't drive to this. I wouldn't want to move to this ragged
The exit you get off to go downtown on the arch that we just spent all of that fucking money to fix up, it's half of a car sitting there.
And a couple couches I saw. There's a couple couches.
We just spent all of this money putting homeless people out of downtown.
And I gotta watch the people come in.
We just spent all this money, had the homeless people move from downtown, had Larry Rice move for this beautiful so-called downtown. And when you're coming into it, it's more trash than in Granny Mall's front yard.
So we need to prioritize. We need to prioritize what are the. I was trying to do it last week, but what prioritize our pros and our cons.
Well,
like how far up is trash and potholes compared to, I guess, crime?
Well, we know that we know that's not even the same.
Well, I could tell you flat out, crime. If we don't do more about it, again, we talked about it earlier. Mm-hmm. Most of the people leaving the black.
Ain't gonna be no motherfucker down here.
But I'm telling you what, we had again somebody shot and killed over this way, we're getting.
You said right across there in Maplewood.
Yeah,
right
well, no, in the city.
A city, yeah, right.
You got people down here at off of Hampton at the ATM machine being carjacked. It ain't gonna take much. It isn't going to be white flight. It's going to be people that are just scared and going to say, you know what, I'm done. And it isn't nothing if somebody gets a little scared, one person sells their house. But when you start getting 5 and 10 and 15 people in the neighborhood deciding it's time to get the heck out of here,
boy, your shit is
property value will go down.
Damn real, your shit dead.
That's why the city look like it lives.
Your shit dead, sis. I'm sorry.
So roads. The roads got to be paved. People want to come in.
Presentation is everything, B.
What keeps people in this and in the neighborhood I represent in this area? If the roads look good, houses look good, all that, people feel like they're going to come in like a place to live.
Right.
But when them people and they're paying, houses over here, even little frame houses, $250, $300 and plus
$1,000.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's nothing.
These are better neighborhoods on this side.
But I'm telling you what, don't move in the city can't. Our taxes just
keep going up higher and higher.
Crazy high.
Man, y'all better do something about St. Louis City. This motherfucker gonna be dead.
And another thing, she said that it's MoDOT. Then how come if it's MoDOT?
MoDOT's the State Department,
but hold on.
City.
If it's MoDOT and all of that, when you cross over Goodfellow on 70, it's clean. So the county part can stay clean, but the city part can't.
Well,
that's different departments.
Still Missouri.
It's still MoDOT. She said it's MoDOT. So you telling me the Jennings mayor is better than the city mayor? No. She can keep her shit. The motherfucking Northwoods
County Executive Sam Page. He the one to control all that shit.
In trouble too?
Okay, no, but what I'm saying,
he's just they
can control it once you hit Goodfellow and you in the county, but they can't control it in the city.
Look, I'm just saying if I was in that predicament and I'm running the city and I'm on my city and I'm supposed to be for real about this shit and
I'd have my cousins go out there and clean it if it's that serious.
If I'm the mayor of St. Louis, this motherfucker gonna be presented when people come here, they're gonna be like, this is St. Louis clean as a motherfucker.
Well, why not? They got all these people that are out on work release. They got people that got these,
They don't do that. They don't do them chain gang shit like they do in the South.
But they don't have to be a chain gang.
I know what you said, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure it's people in there that would volunteer. If they're actually sitting in
you got to do community
23 hours a day.
Some of the people that we hired, some of the best employees we had back in the car wash days came out of the work release out of St. Mary's and that. Because two things. One, if they have somewhere to go, they can get out. So they're not stuck there. So they get out, and so they sign out at a certain time, and they sign in at a certain time, and they get paid, and the city could pay them. And these are I found them to be the most reliable employees I had because they can get out because they can smoke cigarettes.
Yes,
If you've been locked up before, Joe, you know it. You already know, man.
And you know what? A lot of the guys that came to work at the car wash ended up getting, like the iron workers would hire some of them. They ended up getting good careers. People also, and I preach this all the time, big brothers and big sisters. My little brother, Michael, grew up in the 100 neediest families and in a tough neighborhood, little young black kid. And Michael today, and I was no great big brother. We'll just start there. I
was one, though,
no,
Joe.
The only difference was I was able to show Michael there was a difference.
It's something.
There's a little bit of difference.
Yeah.
Michael worked his butt off. Michael kept his grades up, did everything he could. Michael joined the Navy, which I wouldn't have. I really felt he should have got a job with the unions, but that's okay. He joined the Navy, served on the SS Harry Truman. He re-upped again. He's 22 years old, and now he's on shore duty in California. But if you want to meet the coolest kid, I'm gonna tell you something.
Tell him to call in.
Michael, he's in California.
They can do that video.
But Michael, I couldn't love him anymore. Michael, I am so proud of him. And what I tell people is, get into Big Brothers and Big Sisters because, yes, I'm an old white guy. and he's a young black kid.
Club,
but I'm gonna tell you what,
any of those.
well, they're all good, but
no,
I didn't really change his life.
Salute?
His life. I just showed him there was a different.
They got it all.
It isn't. There's a different way, and I go with what you're saying. No disrespect to anybody, but
everybody makes it seem like all of the kids, the bad kids. It's badass kids, white kids in Chesterfield, but they still get
a good
the money and the education. I know more motherfuckers out there running credit card schemes, running all of that shit, but they still get the advantages. The city kids ain't no worse than the motherfucking county kids.
No, not it ain't.
Because the county kids
but
go to the city and do all that shit and go back home.
I believe that the spending per pupil in St. Louis City public schools is comparable, if not higher, than most of the other municipalities and school districts. So money isn't the real problem.
You telling me that the kids at Beaumont, they put the same money in their schools they put in the other schools?
They get allocated that much money from the state, from the department.
They do not get the same amount of money that the other schools in the city get, y'all. If they did, then somebody in their school.
Somebody's stealing.
Because they school looks
it's per student, no matter where they go.
Right, that's what
you already know sis what's going on.
What he's saying, if they don't have the students, it's so much per student. So so if you don't have as many students, you don't get as much money.
So you saying some of these motherfuckers can be lying about the numbers?
No, what it is, just like she said, when you have the poverty, because when you have people that have to work every day, like she said, if both of my parents at work and I'm the one that's responsible for getting myself up going to school and I need to be at school, I'm either going to be late or I'm going to miss that day. A lot of people don't understand. That's why when the school get ready to start, they be out there trying to meet the parents, bring them together, trying to encourage them to bring them. It's all of the shit. It's like she said, it's business. The first day of school counts. So if you got 100,000 kids go to this school and only 60,000 show up on the first day, but they come the rest of the year, you lost that money. You have to come to school. They told us along. You have to come to school. But I'm saying,
are they still thinking about? No, they don't. In this area at Chesterfield High, right?
No, they don't.
Them kids are going to be prepared for the first day of school because their mothers are going to have the money to prepare them.
Exactly. I'm agreeing with you. That's how it's happening.
Off of Goodfellow, Mary Jane may not have the money to send her kids to school the first day because she don't get paid till the third day.
That's the way it's set up, though.
Because he ain't got no new clothes or nothing like that.
Because he don't. That matters to children.
Hey, we just had a close.
Are you crazy?
No, what I'm saying, I know a lot of kids who didn't.
And you missed all your funding for the year because you didn't send your kid to school. But you missed.
That matters for their self-esteem.
No, it does.
Don't they get funded
what
like
I'm saying,
that?
but is that a legitimate reason to keep a kid out of school?
My kid's self-esteem is a
That's all I want to
legitimate
know.
reason,
Because I don't feel like that's a legitimate reason to keep a kid out of school.
If you don't raise your kids with good self-esteem, they gonna kill themselves by 16. So if that is a good reason. My kids' mental health to me is just as important as their education and anything else.
But I know me growing up in Kinlock, motherfucking Missouri, I didn't have the best of nothing.
It still was a difference.
I didn't have the best.
Nobody did.
I started school in
so
pro
your
wings,
self-esteem.
The same shit I told. I started school in them same pro wings. I got
all of us did.
All that shit.
But these kids now kill themselves for Jones.
Oh, shit.
Okay?
I got told you because they look sensitive these days.
Okay?
Sensitive.
These kids are not like
They're
us.
fucking sensitive.
They kill themselves for being talked about. They are bullied and they kill themselves now.
Yeah, they do.
Okay?
They're a little bit more sensitive these days.
It ain't like when we went to school. Pro wings, please. We can deal with pro wings cost $1.99. Pro wings, we can deal with that song. These kids now, you talk about them, they slice their throats.
So who do we talk about for the actual funding?
What's up, Mary?
Is that a state that allocates the money to the schools, or is that a city/county thing, or how do we solve the problem? You said it starts with the neighborhoods are bad, or
no? I mean, we just have to.
Get to the bottom of it.
Well, no. I mean, again, we got to get the kids in the school.
It's attendance.
And it's
attendance is everything.
Yeah.
Because
the first day
they get more funding by better attendance.
It's the first day is the biggest money maker.
And then just, I mean, again, I was not the smartest pick. I was, like I said, the dumbest one probably in the school.
That's not nice.
But you were there.
Well, I was there, and you know what? I had teachers that knew I wasn't going to be a math. I wasn't going to be an engineer.
Rhodes Scholar.
Right. Well, I wanted to be, but they also said, of course, back then it was kind of mean-spirited, but they said, well, the world needs ditch diggers, too.
I remember that one. They most definitely need the ditch diggers. Right now, you can make big money because everybody gets
ditch. You want to settle for being a ditch digger, that's what you do.
I had a teacher that told me, she was like, pick up that paper, you're going to be a construction worker anyway.
But you know what, though? They didn't mean anything bad by it. What they meant was maybe the math isn't your thing. So, yeah, I ended up getting into being an auto mechanic and all that. I've been real blessed my whole life.
Joe, you make more money than them.
Oh, my God.
More money than
them. Them people, the same people that say, go be a ditch digger.
No, we had to
That
work.
was your teacher, right?
That teacher is not here any longer, I bet.
But that teacher wasn't making no more than about 20,000 in a whole year back in the day.
The teachers don't make enough now.
You know what I'm saying?
Teachers don't make enough now.
They don't.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you now.
That's my biggest argument.
Neither do hosts of
That's my biggest argument.
That's why you get us that grant.
I already filled out for it, too.
Growing up in Kenlock, when my mom and daddy went to work at some late, if I had to go to school, my bus pulled outside my house, outside my apartment, so it wasn't no excuses for me to miss going to school or nothing like that, And back in them days, Kenlock was like one big family unit. If you didn't go to school, your mama gonna know, your daddy everybody gonna tell on you. You know what I'm saying?
But
I went to Hall's Ferry.
Right, but see there's different. Like when I went to school, if we kicked over trash cans, which we did, and did stuff we shouldn't do.
That's why our roads are dirty.
What's up, Kimmy?
By the time I got home, everybody had already called my mom.
Yeah.
On the porch.
Yeah.
They take me straight to the church. I mean, I spent more time
at
to the church.
Don't go to school. They gonna be like, shit, they ain't go to school. Oh well.
Well, we would go to. They would take me to St. Joan of Arc to the pastor of the church.
It's the weirdest thing as a parent to not make your kids go to school. To me,
you the horriblest parent in the world.
Because my kids
say it again.
Go to school.
You a damn dirtbag. You
know
so
what I'm saying?
fucking right.
To me, I tell my kids all the time, if I have to go to work, I have to go to school.
I know motherfuckers damn near
That's
40
your
years
job.
old. I know motherfuckers damn near 40 years old right now.
He just said what I said at first. Whether you believe in,
read.
they switch a lot of stuff because people do. Some people don't believe in God. Some people believe in other religions. So it's a respectful thing. But it's just the exact thing I said. Discipline ain't something to believe in. If you don't believe in nothing, your ass a fall.
Parents have to teach
discipline.
Them
But I'm just saying discipline. He said his people took him to church.
Yes,
they took him to church. School did a lot. So I'm just saying, when you grew up like that, whether you believed in it or not, you still had some type of discipline that's going on. Adults had some type of respect and authority over kids.
More discipline.
Even as a parent, you can't do shit to your kids. So when you come here now,
yes, you can. I beat the shit out of mine, and I wish you would knock on my door. I bet facts. Let them call.
Teachers still.
My kids gotta make it.
You going to jail? You going to jail though?
And when I get out of jail, I'm whooping that ass.
And I'm with you.
And I'm gonna go back.
But when it all boils down, it's still a rule. It's still a rule in the law telling you what you can do to your kids. But they can shoot the motherfuckers in their back.
You always couldn't go too far. It's just one story.
You can't do nothing.
You can do something. I didn't have the police at my house because somebody said she saw me whooping his ass. When I explained to them, and I was still holding him by his throat.
And it's some that let you go and some don't.
He don't look hurt. All right, bye.
He was a motherfucker that got his ass whooped.
Cause some do and some don't.
There you go.
Cause I don't.
Everybody didn't get their ass. So a lot of people don't look at that as abuse.
Thank you.
No faking.
Did he learn his lesson?
Huh?
Did he learn his lesson?
My kids, I don't whoop them much.
Man, I got
my kids.
I ain't whoop my kids.
My kids are great kids. He just didn't listen to me that day.
Sis, I'm thankful for all my ass whoopings.
How gangsta I was.
They got me right here where I'm at right now. I'm thankful for all them ass whoopings.
And my mother,
no fake.
My mother was literally
I'm thankful
crazy.
for all them ass
I didn't get whoopings.
Whooped like slaves,
Never.
butt naked, holding the bed.
I wasn't bad though.
Switches, okay?
Exactly.
Like
and then if you got a switch too small, you're going to get a bigger one.
We got interjection here.
And then I still wonder why. Like, after all my ass whooping, she didn't beat me good enough to be a millionaire like Joe Jackson did.
All right. So before I leave, I want to just.
You can't leave already.
I got a 1:30 appointment. I gotta go to. Sorry, I'm late because I was at a funeral. But
you look like you was a hippie once.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to build on. What I want to propose to you is a solution to make St. Louis better.
Come on in.
Okay, so here's my take on it.
Okay.
First of all, it's personal responsibility.
Most definitely.
Okay, everyone's got to be responsible for themselves, for their family, and for everyone they come in contact with, whether it's their neighbor, whether it's helping the teacher out, whether it's their work or whatever. And that personal responsibility goes out to not littering and picking up trash, even if it's other people's trash. So we go out into the alleys and we undo what people dump around there because we know the trash trucks aren't going to pick that up. So you do that. You watch out for your neighbor.
Like a motherfucker.
Okay. The next step in personal responsibility is respect.
Like a motherfucker.
You got to have respect for everyone, including your kids, including the teachers, including our elected officials.
All day long.
Okay. And your neighbors. Now you do that, you respect them personally, you respect their property, and then we're not having that damage.
Like a motherfucker.
Okay. When you're driving, okay, take some personal responsibility for the way that you drive. Okay? The driving is crazy. And you know what? There is not going to be any enforcement because there isn't being any prosecution. Okay, so it's up to us to take personal responsibility to drive correctly, like to stop at a stop sign.
Yes, you right.
We used to just hold on.
Tell people these things, though.
Hold on. I mean, this is something.
Did they get their license?
This is something that your parents should have taught you as we go along. Personal responsibility and respect for others, and then community service. Okay, community service is not for just somebody who's gotten into trouble.
So you can do it if you want to go do it.
Everybody should be in community service. So what you do is you engage with your neighbors, with the neighborhood organizations. You attend the meetings. You do the projects that are out, whether it's picking up trash or that. But you engage, you get involved, you serve. Okay, and then if everyone does that, then we start taking some pride in our city.
Like a motherfucker.
Okay? We're not going to litter. Okay? It's going to look cleaner.
Like a motherfucker.
And I will tell you, trash and crime, they go hand in hand.
They sure the fuck do. I agree with you.
You've heard of the broken window theory. Okay? You see abandoned buildings and broken windows.
Yes.
You're not going to care about that. You'll throw another rock through that. You'll litter on that place because you know that no one cares about it, and you're not going to get in trouble for it. So I'll leave you with those things: personal responsibility, respect, and community engagement. And if we each do that individually, and people see us doing that, that's contagious. It's contagious the same way in that negative aspect of getting away with crime, of trashing the place, of driving recklessly, and committing crimes. Okay? So you take account, just like the nosy neighbor.
You got to take
accountability. We grow up with our neighbors.
I'm the nosy neighbor now, so
right?
I get her now.
And that's good.
I'll be looking out the window.
We need to be involved with each other's lives.
Somebody looking out for my shit.
That's my take.
Real talk.
And that's funny because, like she just said, we've been preaching. Everybody's been preaching that for the longest.
That you have
nobody don't. But you don't understand it until you get up and grow up and get your own shit.
Yeah,
should be common sense.
It should be. You're right.
You know,
you're talking about.
No, you can tell.
Elementary school.
Right, you learned it, but if you don't see it by example and you don't lead by example,
who's the example?
The mentor, this guy.
No, the examples are the politicians. The police. I've seen police that throw shit out their cars. You know what I'm saying? It's the people in authority.
Well, take their license number
down. It has to start with them.
I'm going to start writing their license plates down if I see their ass.
No, you're wrong. You know where it starts? It starts with you.
No, it couldn't have started with me. Because all those things you just said, baby, I've been
for the good things, for the personal responsibility.
It is people that are already like that in these communities.
Yeah, they fucked up.
Not doing
you just got people who just don't give a fuck.
It has to be the people they see on TV. It has to be the people that they look up to.
All right, well, if you don't do shit personally, then you look to our leaders and you reach out to them. I tried to do this, but it's not working.
If I'm living this example, I'm going to look for them anyway.
Or you can run for office yourself.
Fuck no.
Then you can vote for somebody.
She'd rather be on the microphone bitching about it.
Oh, no. I actually put this in play. So I don't just sit here and bitch about it. All that community service, I started doing community service when I was 5, okay? Everything you just named, I've been doing, living this life.
Good.
Okay, it's more than just talk on here.
You're a good example.
What I'm saying, people follow their leaders. So it has to start with the leaders and trickle down. That's how America has always worked.
Well, it just
Am I lying?
It's just
they're parallel.
Don't fucking litter on the street.
None of y'all.
Don't
litter.
litter.
And then the leader is responsible for themselves.
They have to lead by example.
Instead of riding past and throwing big ass bags of White Castle boxes out your car.
I have literally seen cops and shit do that.
All that shit. Most definitely.
So you report them.
And then my dumb ass walk over there and pick it up.
Right.
All the cops
I cussed them out.
Because it's in my community. I was raised in Kemp. We take that shit serious.
All the cop cars have numbers on them, so you report the car number and you say.
I think they tired of answering the phone for me.
You know, one thing I will say, I don't drink or go to bars, but I would go if you. I won't drink. I want to go to a bar with you guys.
Let's go.
That has to be.
I thought this was a bar. I see your barefoot wine bottle right there.
With this long hair, you had to be a hippie one day.
We could drink.
I was.
We could drink.
You smoke big weed right now.
Yeah. I'm still a hippie.
You smoke big weed right now.
Not right this minute.
I just love the party.
Yes, he do.
Hold on, big dog. So what type of project you work? What type of building?
Tell us about your work before.
Because I heard you slide that in. Right. So please tell me what you build around. What you built around here? I don't know about.
Well, real quick. I met James through my stepdad.
Oh, okay.
As a real estate agent when we were moving out of my basement.
Oh,
okay.
And then we hooked up with him, and then he owned Broadway. That's,
so he got property. He the man then.
Well, you invest in your community.
Right.
Buying property is investing in your community. You buy it, you fix it up.
Yeah.
I provide housing. I provide opportunities for small businesses to lease spaces. We manage property. I own a few properties.
Okay.
Not all of South Broadway, but a good portion of it. And as a matter of fact, Justin's original studio that he leased from me and his partner over there, Anton, Larry. Okay, and Anton just bought the building from me. And so we
and you see,
we
that's leading by example.
Right, and giving people opportunity.
And giving them an
and we work together in the community in that.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the shit I get behind. Leading by example. My kids volunteer because I've been dragging their ass to volunteering all over. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My kids want to be entrepreneurs because that's what I gave them. My kids are honor roll students because when I'm in school, I'm an honor roll motherfucking student. Leading by example. If I was the mayor, I'd have my black ass out there Nina popping like she do across the motherfucking highway picking up trash.
You know what?
I ain't mad at you.
Get her orange vest. Got the TV crew out there.
You may have to.
I enjoyed it, folks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
If you ever want to keep it real again, come back.
You may have to explain that term to me.
What?
I never heard that.
What, Nina popping?
Yeah. What is that? I don't know.
That dance.
First Ward. I don't want Ann Schweitzer to hear this, but I am supporting Tony Kirchner.
Tony Kirchner.
Oh, really?
And I tell you why. I do like Ann. Ann's been showing up for meetings. She's expanded her reach and influence throughout several different wards. But I tell you what, young Tony Kirchner, who's a deputy sheriff, he's out there hustling, and he's all about public safety and law and order, and he's willing to get his hands dirty and work on it.
When is the vote?
April 4th.
Oh, it's the April 4th vote.
And they're in the runoff. There was a third person, a Republican.
Boo. Sorry.
Well, I are one of those too. But
I'm sorry,
actually, I didn't know the gentleman. But anyway, young Tony. You watch that kid.
I'm gonna look him up.
Pretty good. He's gonna join Joe down there, despite Brett.
I'm gonna look him up.
He gonna get that 75,000 too.
He gonna get that 75.
We finna take a break.
That 75,000 too. I'm sorry, bitch.
We finna do the joke of the day.
Oh wait,
Real
let me
talk.
tell one other story right before I leave. So
I thought you was gone. No.
So I'm trying to leave. So anyway, I'm involved in politics and government, serving on commissions and that. I don't hold public office. I run the business association down in Carondelet as well. But I'm also a trustee on St. Louis Realtors Political Action Committee. And we actually met yesterday, reviewed the races, and we give money to candidates and issues that we support for issues, but particularly candidates who support our causes, which is development, providing affordable housing, landlord and tenant rights, anything real estate related.
Thank you for saying
and
tenant
there
rights.
are a few people that we have given to, and one person that was specifically called out was a realtor champion for us, and that's Joe here.
Joe, you always getting this stuff. Go, Joe.
That's our alderman.
And I would say
That's the Kicking and Company alderman right there, y'all. That's our
We
alderman.
love Joe.
Damn real, big. That's 100, man.
Thank you. And they have. They're good. And
Joe, get yourself together. You all
No.
humble.
You just so humble.
You all humble.
He just so
Jonah man.
He humble as a motherfucker. Shit.
No, I mean, I do stuff and
You do stuff.
but I don't. You know,
You ain't getting no you ain't trying to get no recognition.
That's not what he doing it
You do it out the
for.
graces of your
But
heart.
why? One of the things that nobody talks about, you want to talk about when you get to the homeless people, the stuff, you know, I was bringing them into City Hall, and you want to know the homeless, the ones, of course, the kids, but the young girls that are getting raped.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a daily
And
basis.
the boys too.
Young girl, well, a young girl. This goes back about 2 years ago. I used to bring them all into City Hall before COVID, and then they maybe stopped.
All right, big dog.
She gets
See,
all,
thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
her mouth all busted up and all that,
Tony
and she
hit me
was
up
gang
too.
raped. And I told her, I
We'll get
said,
Tony on here
what
too.
happened to you? She said, I was gang raped. I said, did you call the police? Oh no,
maybe next week
no.
you
They ain't gonna do nothing about it.
I got warrants.
Yeah,
I got warrants.
yeah.
I can't call the
She
police.
worried about she got raped, but she
You
worried
know,
about some damn
what-
woman.
what-
Because she don't want to go to jail on top of being raped.
But
nobody
so
right.
I'm not far saying just let people live in tents. I think that's all wrong too.
That look a mess.
We have to help the homeless people, and the only way it's going to happen, the warrants that they have, a lot of them.
Traffic and stupid shit.
Well, not even just, a lot of them have
petty stealing
well,
and shit like that.
It's not even petty stealing.
Trespassing.
No, it's like if you're outside, like
Public intoxication.
vagrancy.
Yeah, vagrancy.
And
Yeah.
lottery.
But then you don't.
Lottery
They
and shit
don't.
like that.
They don't show up at court.
Yeah, and
because
then
they
you
don't
get a
know
warrant.
to show up at court.
And then that shit adds up.
Then they got warrants.
Yeah.
They got and-
I was
and
like that until Mike Brown.
Until we get that fixed, it's easy to say, well, there's plenty of work out there. Go get a job. Try to go get a job without a house, without a phone, without where do you work? Well, I mean, where do you live? No.
Without the
bill
correct
in your
laws
name.
on.
Man.
They living on the street. How they putting on a something to get to go
But
to
we
the
can-
interview?
We can fix that. We can fix this. We need to fix this. We can't say letting people live in a tent. People are dying in them damn tents.
This shit needs to be
Letting
like this.
people live in a
And
tent is
being
not
raped.
the right way.
I know a girl who was in that tent city and she was raped and shit.
Well, shit, because there's guys that use those girls.
What about all these tents down here at the exit down here at the highway?
And it's wrong.
That shit look a mess.
You know what? It to me, that's not acceptable.
That look a mess. I'm sorry.
But what has to
That look a
happen
mess.
is this should have never got to that.
It sure shouldn't. I ain't never think St. Louis would look like this.
But until we actually decide that we're going to help clear these warrants up. We're going to help get birth certificates. That's what we were doing. When Larry Rice was coming up there with me, we were bringing about 100 people into City Hall.
That's my guy.
They most definitely should have ran.
They should have never did nothing. They should have never let that man left, man.
Well,
Let him talk.
But I'm just
and
saying,
he ain't all right neither. He using the fuck out of them people too. Don't make me tell y'all the stories. I did a documentary down there. He taking them people and using their labor for free.
But anyway, what I'm getting at though is we're bringing people in, and what I was finding out is homelessness. What happens? People start stealing from their parents. Nobody wants to throw their kid on the street.
Like a motherfucker.
But that gets to a point that your family abandons you. You're out. Nobody cares for you. You're a street person. Then you gotta, especially a girl, you gotta find somebody that's either gonna screw you, use you, sell you. But at least you don't get beat up every night.
Oh man.
Until we it's wrong.
Yes.
I've cried over this until we actually do something. And this is not about being a fucking alderman. This is not about any of that bullshit.
Human.
This is you do that stuff on your own privately, but the city could do way more than they're doing.
They can.
And it's not. It's about housing, but it's about helping.
Like a motherfucker.
It's about how do we
It's
get
about
them
respect.
out of. How do we get them past this? How do we get them back into life? Do you think it? This one.
I already know. It give me too.
Look, stop it. You gonna make me cry.
It give me too.
No,
I used to
I'm
make
sensitive
right.
now.
I used to make them
pisses
cry
me
every
off.
week on my show
no.
talking about this shit.
No, it's bad.
It is
And
bad.
you think it's fucking good living in a tent? Go live in a fucking tent.
Right.
That's the worst shit ever. I hated going camping when my uncle would talk about we staying in a tent and shit. You know how your hip fuck up? Just so imagine that shit.
I know, but when you go camping with your family, it's usually going somewhere where there's a lake and it's 50 it's 80 degrees and all that shit.
No, my uncle wanted old school, no air mattress.
You're not sitting
That's why I got hip problems.
Under the bridge.
Right.
But Joe, I'm gonna say
I went
this,
to-
and I know you don't like this, but you my nigga.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
use that
That's my
word.
I know you don't use that word, but
Yeah,
that is
like
an
it.
honor from me
serious.
because you care and everything that you talk to us about and that you stand behind, you
Yes, you
really
do.
stand behind that
That's
shit.
real
We've been
talk.
watching you since
Damn
you
real.
came.
I grew up
talk.
with that word meaning exactly what it meant.
Yeah, but see,
When somebody
we
sat there
changed it.
and said, and pardon me for using this word, but sat there and said, when I worked back in the day with all these old guys that Martin Luther King was doing, I belonged to
But see,
what
you gotta see though is we changed that. Instead of accepting the power that word gave from people of your color, we took that and gave it the power that we wanted it to have. That's what y'all don't understand and never will. You know what I'm saying? Y'all never will because y'all wasn't the ones. So if I'm calling you that, trust and believe it's all love behind it.
But it's bad because
it's not bad.
We
already had this talk. It's not bad.
When I was going to school,
if you call me it's bad. But if I call you it's good.
When I was going to school,
Double standards.
She got the juice now.
No, but when I was I want to tell you, when I was going to school,
that word was unprohibited when you was going to school.
My mother didn't graduate high school because of that word.
No,
my mother was in the first group of segregated kids to go to McClure.
That's what I was going to get at.
But what it is, we took all of the negative that y'all put on it and made it something that we use and we use.
Well, Regina don't like me calling her a nigga.
That's Regina.
Yeah, Regina don't like me calling her. But I'm pretty sure it's 100 million other Reginas like
he don't
that
like me calling him in that. But guess what? I still did.
Here's the thing. When I was in 5th grade, I was going to St. Joan of Arc. I got thrown out.
I took the power. Just like bitch. Black women been called black bitches forever. We took that word and we use it like we want to. We took the power from you motherfuckers.
No, y'all call each other that, but shit, that one of us call y'all that.
That's what I'm saying.
Go crazy.
Just like we say nigga all day, but let a white person call us that. Just like nigga, we took bitch and use bitch like we want to use it.
No, fact.
It's a word.
No, but I understand what my guys.
When people stop tripping off of words,
don't like it.
We can go further in life.
I understand it, though.
When I went to grade school, I was thrown out or asked not to come back to St. Joan of Arc when I was in 5th grade. So I went over to the public school. And busing was just starting.
He said he was just busing starting.
It was just starting. And there was just a small group of young black kids and myself that were kind of strangers to the school because, like I said, I got thrown out of the Catholic school. And
so you're associated.
And we made
you
friends.
One of us.
Exactly.
Well, no, we were just friends. And I really got interested in it. And I used to be in CORE. If you remember what CORE is, CORE might still be around, the Coalition on Racial Equality.
I know what CORE is.
Okay. So I used to wear that and get the shit kicked out of me, which made me a better fighter.
I know you did.
But I got to be a better fighter.
I know you did.
Tell you what.
I know you did. And you had a CORE shirt on. You might as well have had a NAACP pin on.
But it wasn't about that. It was about my friends.
Like a motherfucker.
It was about my friends. Yeah. And I got along better with them because I was also a newbie in 5th grade. You know, but so to me, that word is a hate word. It was always a hate word. You can say it's not. It was meant as a hate word.
And she know that, Joe, but we just like you.
Let me know because I am all hate words, okay? Look at me. I am a black lesbian. So I'm a nigga. I'm a dyke. I'm a bitch. I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? I am all of the negative words. But I will not live my life afraid of a fucking word. So I'm gonna say nigga, I'm gonna say bitch, I'm gonna say dyke, and I don't give a fuck who says it about me. Why? Because I said it first, bitch.
In 2023, can you use the word dyke?
I can.
Okay.
I eat pussy. Who gonna stop me?
I always told.
That's right.
You know,
say what you want.
My little brother. You know, with my little brother,
his
I
crew
told
was
him
black,
that is
so
not.
he don't like it. He ain't
told,
like him calling his crew like that shit, so he ain't rocking with it.
I just think it's a bad
I get it.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't know.
I think it's a bad word.
Your generation,
We say bad words.
anybody,
Yeah, he ain't know.
your generation,
You say his crew was
I
black.
get it.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I get it. But y'all have to understand our generation. I am the generation after the civil rights generation. You know what I'm saying? My parents let the ball drop. After they got their civil rights, they said, fuck it.
Hey, Joe just more thing.
I am a different generation. I was literally raised with all of that different shit. You know what I'm saying? And we changed that to something that we call each other. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just as much as I understand where you coming from, you have to understand where we coming from.
I get.
Oh, he most definitely know where you coming from.
No.
He just don't like it.
You know what?
I ain't mad at you, Joe.
I know what I'm not afraid of.
Don't like nobody
Joe ain't gonna like this joke.
Blame you.
I argue with her all day long about that shit. She hates that shit.
Because you're not.
The moment you walk away.
Oh, I'm a nigga. If I get pulled over today or tomorrow, I'm a nigga.
Joe the Joker in the house.
Hey, Joe is the
She is too.
St. Louis right here, y'all.
Whether she want to admit it or not.
I done messed up.
That's our motherfucking alderman, y'all. I don't even live in his ward. But that's my motherfucking alderman.
I didn't get to tell my best joke of the day.
Hey, here's my joke. It's a joke of the day. It's a joke of the day.
Don't say the N-word.
It's a joke. It's the nigga joke of the day. It's a joke of the day. I can say whatever in the back.
Say it for the niggas in the back.
For the niggas in the back.
You can't use that
It's
word.
a joke of the day.
Girl, you bad.
It's a joke of the day. We be joking. It's a joke of the day.
You know what?
You know, I take the meaning. I take the meaning of the words. And so don't call me nothing that I'm not.
You know what?
You can think that all day long, but you can kiss my ass.
You're not.
I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker call me.
You know something?
Just call me happy, bitch. You call me whatever the fuck you
Don't call me
want. Because I'm blessed, bitch.
You're not.
Not at
You're a
all.
very beautiful woman.
Thank
Okay.
you.
It's the joke of the day.
Go on there.
I be your nigga, I be your bitch, I be your dyke, and I don't
Say
give a
I'm on
fuck.
there.
I mean,
Silly as a motherfucker.
they can say what they want to say. It don't hurt me, but I'm not going to claim.
That's who they joke. That's who they joke.
I'm a nigga.
This
Who
one
got
goes-
the
I'm a nigga, she's a nigga, he's a nigga, we's a nigga. Wouldn't you like to be a nigga too?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Boy, you bad.
Fuck no.
So my best joke
Hell
of
to
the
the
day.
nana.
To
nana. Come on, we got
all right.
So we're gonna do 2 of them today.
Come on, Bree.
A black third grader goes to his mom and asks, "Mom," and says, "Mom, I have the biggest dick in the 3rd grade. Is that because I'm black?" She responds, "No, nigga, it's because you 19.
You're grown as a motherfucker. You're grown as a motherfucker.
Let's just show you how dumb he was.
And we got a second joke.
No, I can't top that.
Yeah, Joseph went first.
Hey,
Look, that brought him to tears. He's like,
You can't say joke.
Joe about to get the
can't
one.
say
Joe, I love you, man.
Joe said, I can't talk.
You can't say joke without Joe.
I was gonna say something stupid like
This
I
melon
went to
popping.
the
Like
dentist,
these melons popping.
and when he told me how much the bill was gonna be, I told him I only had $1. So he gave me buck teeth. That's stupid.
Okay, we can deal with that one.
I got that.
That was cool.
I got that one.
Joe, it could have been worse.
Say we ain't slow, we did it. That was a good one.
That's our jokes. Our
So you out here trying to tell them damn
of the
intelligent
day.
jokes. But we got intelligence.
We're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. We'll be talking about the selection. We got some more St. Louis. Let's make St. Louis great again.
We're trying to.
I think St. Louis is great.
It is.
We just need a
need
little
clean
improvement.
We'll be right back.
I do too. I think St. Louis dope.
You know.
Hey, you know what?
Folks be like, I'm leaving. I be like,
Bro,
I'm
I'm
leaving.
always leaving.
All them niggas come back.
I like the leaving.
I ain't met a motherfucker other than my mom
St.
and
Louis
my
like
sister
good
that
pussy.
really leave and never come back.
Now, personally, as an actor, I started enjoying my work and literally being more happy when I stopped trying to make the daily labor a means to a certain end.
Just waking up about 2:45. I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Man, my girl's really gonna kill me this time. I think I had a couple cigars, a couple bottles of Jack. Laid my ass right out on my back. Somewhere in between, I must have lost my damn mind. Hey, I used to live a sad life. You don't wanna know. My future's in my headlight, and I know where I'm going. See, this seems like the perfect place for me. Out here on the road. Hey, yeah, all I know is when I jump in my truck, I'm home.
We've all got 2 wolves in the suit, a good one and a bad one, and they both want to eat.
Right outside, it's about 100 degrees. AC on, I'm just feeling the breeze. That's when I realized everything was gonna be alright. Alright. Couple top of the mornings, couple hot of your dudes. About to put on the show, thought I'd bring you the news. And right before I jumped up on the stage and seen them flashing lights, I remember I used to live a sad life. You don't wanna know. My future's in my headlight, and I know where I'm going. See, this seems like the perfect place for me. Out here on the road. Hey, yeah, all I know is when I jump in my truck, I'm home.
Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. You see, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently and you're going to be unhappy much of your time.
I wish I had $1 million just to hand off to my father. Enjoying this gentle breeze. Man, this fame shit I don't need, but my family gotta eat, and I'm the one that's trying to feed. I don't indulge in greed, and every night I'm on my knees, begging God please to help me get my family out these streets, just so I can breathe. I ain't looking for no beef, but I'll lay your ass to sleep. Don't play about my money, dude. I could send some young men to come and punish you. Pour me up a cup, We finna stop at the store, so you got time to roll that up. You see me with a bag full of bottles, so you already know what's up. I'm counting money, you see the hundreds. You say that I'm acting funny. Hope you ain't trying to get nothing from me. Always something on my mind. You can ask my mom. Back then felt like I was next to bomb. I ain't never had a good reason to run. She said you ain't never seen your son. Huh? Is you serious? You smoking dope cause you delirious. I popped them pills cause I was curious. Patch on my eye, Nick curious. Avenge your death, I avenge the best. No just for this track when I lay the rest. A-list celebs love eating the press. Got my grandpa's name in my flesh. Fuck these hoes and their evil sex. Don't sleep on me cause I might be next. I get my own money, nigga, burn your check. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I can't sit around and wait for the money walk to a nigga. Man. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I can't sit around and wait for the money walk to a nigga. Man. We zooming, I'm on my way to this cash. Bitch, we booming all night. Gone, flying off of this gas. We keep it moving, we acting fooling. So infamous, we just coolin'. Yeah, yeah, we just coolin'. We zooming, I'm on my way to this cash. Bitch, we booming all night. Gone, flying off of this gas. We keep it moving, we acting fooling. So infamous, we just coolin'. Yeah, yeah, we just coolin'. I open up my eyes every day to this bullshit. I'm tired of living life dealing with this bullshit. I'm on my grind, I'm hustling all the time. Please God, just show me all the signs. I hold my head high through conflictions of my life. I'm smoking on the side. I'm on my path to this greatness. Anybody hating, they gon' hate this. I've been patient, now it's time for me to take this level up. Them told all the drink about my cup. I'm focused. Look at all this cash I'm building up. Stakes in the grass, them bitches still get cut. Fuck the world and everybody in it, but my people next to my brothers and sisters, cause we equal. You're not that we stand, about that we fall. Counting this cash till we pushing them cars. Still rocking chucks when I'm pulling up like I'm a star. My family first before I'm riding in the back of that hearse. Heartbeat strong cause I'm beating that curse. Pray in the morning, then I get to this work. Forgive all my sins for I know I've done hurt. So you think you can walk in my shoes? Take a step if you choose. I'm on that higher learning. Think before you act, cause them consequences burning. While I'm chilling, I'm coolin'. I'm just focused on this earning. Cause my kids, this banks is hurting. I'm working. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I can't sit around and wait for the money walk to a nigga. Man. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I'm moving around cause I got something to do. I can't sit around and wait for the money walk to a nigga. Man. We zooming, I'm on my way to this cash. Bitch, we booming all night. Gone, flying off of this gas. We keep it moving, we acting fooling. So infamous, we just coolin'. Yeah, yeah, we just coolin'. We zooming, I'm on my way to this cash. Bitch, we booming all night. Gone, flying off of this gas. We keep it moving, we acting fooling. So infamous, we just coolin'. Yeah, yeah, we just coolin'.
All right, y'all. We back. Back in the building with our, what you call them, Bricks?
That's our motherfucking alderman.
We back.
That's the Kicking and Company alderman, y'all.
Officially official.
We back with our alderman joke.
Because he spread love.
That's what we do here. And then the thing, what James said earlier about accountability. And number one, taking care of yourself. Number two, taking care of the community. And you do it physically through acts and stuff, and we do it verbally through educating people. Yeah. Let's tell them about the election. Let's tell them about what are our pros and cons of the city. Let's address the issues.
I want to address this.
The media is just as important as your job
with the prosecutors. With the prosecutors,
can fuck his job up.
Yeah, with the prosecutors.
Yeah.
I want to still address that because it's like it's getting thrown under the rug now.
And she's for the whole state, or she just for the city?
For the city of
St. Louis.
Not St. Louis County.
Nah.
And
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, and others might disagree, but I do think that the state needs to step in. I know a little bit you guys said earlier you feel that may or may not be right, but here's the thing. Whether you believe it or not, and when you're 3,000, I would ask anybody here to go into that place they call the Justice Center where people are locked out.
Ain't no justice in the
23 hours a day.
23 hours
That's
a day.
the
No
center.
way to get
23 hours a day.
They deserve a trial. They deserve.
Yeah.
Not everybody in there is guilty.
Right.
If you're guilty, you'd probably want to get to prison rather
because
than
it's a lot better than jail.
But a lot of people locked up for, like you say, traffic tickets and stuff like that. That's not grounds to be locked up for 23 years. 23 hours.
No, what he's saying is you would rather be in the penitentiary than be in the goddamn meat.
I know. I had a whole child sitting in that motherfucker for 20
I'm telling you, my
years.
my cousin had warrants, right?
Well, hold on, let him.
Well,
so he got
they deserve
arrested.
a trial. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But it took like 2 or 3 days for him to go to see the judge.
How about 2 or 3 years?
So he set up in there for 2 or 3 days with a job, right?
They made him lose his shit.
Right? So he get home after they like, well, you done been here, time served, all that, whatever. He get home and now he don't have a job.
Well, you want to know what's even bad about that? They don't. It's bad enough when you're locked in that piece of crap they got upstairs, okay? When you're in there on traffic warrants,
you're in the bottom. It's sitting.
There's no beds. There's no nothing.
He was in a holding cell for 3 days.
Yeah, with like 15,
20
people.
At
and
least.
no beds, no showers, no.
You sitting in chairs.
You know what? And I mean,
on a metal thing.
It ain't even clowning. It's sad.
If they open that door, Phil,
I'm sorry.
you can't help but smell ass.
But it's it's unfair.
It is.
Yeah, no, it most definitely is.
And they need to.
I was in that jail downtown before.
Oh man, I luckily have not been.
I was there for about 15 minutes.
But I was, I go in, to check on stuff and do stuff,
disturbing.
And it's bad. I mean, it's bad. And the other thing, let's just say you're a troublemaker in another community, and you're just there on traffic tickets. Mm-hmm. But they don't like you, they may not come pick you up.
Yeah.
And let me
you gotta sit there.
Right. And so I keep trying to say, if it's a traffic ticket, it's something stupid. If another municipality doesn't pick you up in 24 hours, unless it's murder or something real serious,
a non-physical.
they need to let you.
They need to let you go.
Say, and
especially if you got a fucking job.
I'm not weak on crime. I think crime should be.
But it's traffic ones. I remember Ferguson. But I'm from Kinlock and Ferguson. So I remember Ferguson back in the day. My brother literally had traffic warrants, right? They kept him in that cell for 3 weeks.
Well, Ferguson was known for holding motherfuckers back in the day, sis. No faking.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Now, first of all, you ignorant bastards. Y'all done got this nigga fired. Even if y'all done took his whole ability to pay. Then when he got out, they didn't do time served.
No.
He still had a court date
to come back and see.
Well, the new rule too now, you could be in there for 5 years. They don't have to give you time served. That was passed in the state.
Now you don't even get the time.
So you might get a 5-year sentence in the penitentiary and not get time served. So it's very, very.
That lets you know how bad the fucking city is. But that shit fucked up.
Well, no, that's everywhere.
But that's the whole point that I was making. Since the pandemic, everybody is behind. So that was just my thing. I'm just like saying, why is we blaming one person for shit that's going on all over the world? And then why did we wait?
HNIC.
But wait a minute. But why did we? But why? And also, why did we wait? They still been doing stuff, but why did we wait until something happened to somebody from out of town to holler about they want to clean up everything? We've been begging y'all ass to clean up the crime and do stuff for us who live here every day and deal with the shit.
Right.
But when y'all think y'all gonna lose some money, when y'all think y'all gonna lose this money because y'all want all these conventions and stuff to show up here, then y'all wanna throw motherfuckers under the bus and use one person to drag when that's full of shit. And I don't don't care who you is. I don't give a fuck if she black, white, green, orange.
Nah,
It's the fact that everybody is coming down on that lady and blaming her for fucking everything that's going on, and she is not responsible for everything that's going on.
Because she's not.
Fuck that.
They told her. They told Pop Lock and Drop It ass. They told this bitch that if she closed the motherfucking workhouse, it would be these problems.
Yeah.
Now that it's these problems,
she don't know what to do.
This bitch trying to blame another bitch.
Well, but here's the thing. If she is the head of a department, if I were her, and this would be my advice to her, just like in the car wash business, if I was having trouble, I reached out to the other car wash owner saying, this thing's doing this. If I was her, I would say, look, this is my office, I want to do it, but if you want to help me send some people in to help me get these caseloads moving through, I would want to help.
I would want you.
But wanting to help and taking over is two different things.
Well, but something has to be done.
Man.
Are they behind or other?
I don't want no motherfuckers coming from nowhere else. Don't know shit.
But the question is,
going to hard on people. Crime is crime, and I want to take the curl. But don't come here just slamming these motherfucking people that you don't know none about. You don't know what's going on, interacting just to move the cases along or to prove a point. That's what I'm saying.
Real.
When you coming into somebody else's shit just to prove a point, and then you still have the racism shit, and you still have all this other shit going on. So it is a big issue. You have to look at the whole big picture of the thing. I don't want nobody coming in.
But you do know it's finna happen.
I don't want nobody coming in here just throwing a book at people because they just want to get this shit together, and then they like, well, you this, you that.
That's what's finna go
wrong. That's bullshit. It's still wrong.
But that's exactly what's finna go on.
100%.
But no matter who's prosecuting, you're still going to have a jury of your peers, and the people that are stuck in there. And I know we disagree, but this is one that something has. I'm for the people, believe it or not. I'm for the people that are stuck in that jail.
I am too.
And they deserve a trial.
Like
but let the punishment fit the crime as well. Don't come here just throwing the book at motherfuckers because you just want to get along and make an example out of them. I don't like that.
That's why we have to serve on juries. I've never tried to get out of jury duty because of that, although they never picked me.
Shit, I been said I ain't gonna pick you because you the one that's gonna be right.
Why did they make it worth it?
I'd have been to jury duty a million times and didn't get picked.
No, I don't get picked either.
I am a 45-year-old woman who has wanted to be in jury duty since I was about 12.
And they never picked me.
Why in the fuck have I never?
Because you wanna.
I've never been even sent a letter.
Why? Because you wanna.
So, Brick, you know what's funny?
You wanna do it. That's why you ain't got to.
I want to be sequestered and everything. I want to be in a huge trial. Please, somebody be and kill somebody and pick me. Please. Please. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
I have a kid your age. I could be your dad. Yeah. I'm old enough to be your dad.
Yeah.
45 years
old, baby.
Yeah,
and I have been trying since we got bootleg cable and had court TV. I've been trying to be on somebody's trial.
I wouldn't mind doing it, but make it worth my time. They get paid like $2 an hour.
And your job don't have to pay.
Sorry, I work for Medicare. My shit gon' pay. How about that? I don't need y'all money. I do it for free, bitches. You ain't gotta pay me. Sequester me. Shit, I got a babysitter and everything already set up. Been forever.
Hella niggas boy found the lamest excuses to get out of
I have been. My mama and them used to lie. My mama told them motherfuckers. She got a sick kid at home. Me and my sister looking like, who's sick? Motherfucker, what you mean? I'm telling you, I have been trying my whole life to get on a jury.
Like a motherfucker.
Please, just send me a letter, motherfuckers. I'm coming. Shit.
Say, let me in this motherfucker.
I want to be on a huge case. I want to be on some OJ type shit. I mean, I want to be on some shit where they got evidence and DNA shit and just everything.
They did me so bad. They didn't even call me in to question me.
Sat in
I
that
just
room.
sat in that room for 8 hours. 3 days in a row.
I hate that.
And I was like, damn, at least call me in and give me a chance.
Okay, ask a bitch a question.
They didn't ask me shit. Number 5,
I want to be on a
grand
jury.
Y'all can go home now.
I want to be on a jury, a grand jury. I want to be on all that.
You know what's funny? In the state does it better. You actually don't sit in the room. You call in, and if they're going to have a trial and they need 40 or 50 people, then you go. And they actually have donuts and stuff when you get there.
See, look at that.
In the city, they make.
Can I get my judicial donuts, bitches?
They trying to appease.
I always got
They trying to
called to the
appease
city.
the motherfucker.
Man,
Make it
I
feel
didn't
good.
do shit. Look,
like a motherfucker.
I swear to God, I just want to do it.
They trying to make you. They trying to appease the motherfucker. That's all
put
that
your
is.
name in that house.
Right, I always got called to the
Please
city.
do. I do it multiple times, more than once, however many times. I love.
Girl, they ain't gonna pick
my
us.
first degree
They
is
not
in
gonna pick
criminal
us.
I don't feel like
justice.
They not gonna pick us. They not gonna pick us.
You know what?
We too opinionated.
I got enough problem. My goddamn.
They can't sway us. It's how we feel. I'm never gonna get picked because I'm too opinionated, and I'm gonna stick to where I stick to. I don't give a fuck what you say. If it's in my mind and I feel this type of way, you can't change it. So they're not gonna. They got nah, but I'm saying they're not gonna pick me. Well, you know I ain't gonna lie like that. I can't lie like that.
I just want to be on it. I don't give a fuck what trial it is.
They gotta be a big
I don't
trial.
care about nothing. I just want evidence, and I want.
Present it to me. I always want to be a lawyer anyway.
I just want to say not guilty or guilty. Please just give me a chance.
We're over time like we normally.
I ain't going now. Shit, I'm 53. I ain't going to school be no damn lawyer.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
See, that's
Well,
good conversation.
We'll go over time, but I just want to get into. I wanted to have another show before the election next month too.
Okay.
But can you give our listeners, I guess, a couple of things to look out for? And let's see, it's kind of the timeline here. You can do it absolutely balancing. The day be third.
Well, not just vote. It's important whether you
whatever it is.
Even if it's against me, it's voting.
Right.
It's your right.
Yeah.
Don't complain if you don't vote.
I say it all the time.
I do want everybody to vote for me, but.
And a special point to you niggas, motherfuckers died. Motherfuckers was beat and molested and chased after for dogs. And all that shit for your punk ass to have the right to vote. Take your motherfucking ass out there and vote every time.
Don't bitch about it.
You know what?
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you bitch about it or not. You need to, every motherfucker who is a child of a slave
like he said,
need to get their ass out there and vote.
If you don't vote,
I never
don't
heard it
complain
said
about
that way, but you are so
100%.
You are so right.
The only time my great grandfather had one leg, okay, one motherfucking leg. But every time it was a vote, no matter what, he voted. You know why? Because he was literally the child of a slave.
He cared.
And he said when he was born, he wasn't even a man. He didn't even have the right to determine what was going on in his area. So when he got his right to vote, come hell or high water, he was voting. And that shit means, because we was the ones picking his ass up to make sure he got out there to vote. So any motherfucking black human being that are the children of slaves, you motherfuckers don't go vote. I need to be a black superhero and come and slap the shit out of y'all.
You finna become a black superhero and go smack the shit out of motherfuckers. Because motherfuckers is not, the farther we get away from that slavery shit, the farther these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about no voting, B.
And
Real talk.
It is crazy. It ain't
the
even
farther
slavery.
We get away
Have
from
you
that shit.
seen the videos from civil rights?
Like a motherfucker.
This ain't even slavery. This shit ain't even 100 years old.
No, our generation just don't give a fuck, B. You gotta call it what it is. We just don't fucking care.
No, what happens?
And it's because our parents' generation, the civil rights generation, got that shit and just it was over.
Stop caring, B.
No, what happens is
they didn't raise their kids to believe how beautiful they black is.
Right.
They didn't raise their kids to know our struggle. My mama did, and you best believe my kids do.
That's why you gotta. Hey.
But what happens? I'm second generation. My family came from Italy, right? So my mom and dad spoke Italian, and it was all about the culture, all about being Italian.
Yeah.
I'm second generation. I'm not so Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I might know a few cuss words.
You more St. Louis than Italian.
My kids are even less Italian than I was.
Yep.
You know, so it's just
one of the reasons why.
But your ass can't be less black.
Yeah, they
one of the reasons why the hills got started over.
And see, my mother.
Oh yeah, when they were on the hills.
My mother is the reason.
There you go. See,
my daddy
mother
worked for them. They
is
would
the
take the
reason the
spaghetti
African
factory.
lives
My
in
daddy and my
me
uncle
and my kids, because she made sure we knew who we were.
I ain't gonna lie, Joe. Growing up in Kid Lock, I didn't see no white people. Baby.
Yeah, we because of
if
where
I see the white person, it's because a black dude had a girl. He
had a baby mama
is a white.
His family disowned them, so they moved to Kid Lock. Baby, I can tell you 3 different families. You better know. You knew them too. Yeah.
I didn't see no motherfucking white people, baby.
The only black people I saw were the one busload of kids.
I can believe that because you grew up on the hill, which is all Italian.
Yeah, I grew
so
up over here.
We used to be scared. It used to look like the Godfather pulling up in the hill.
Like a motherfucker.
I swear to God, the people playing checkers and shit. Old Italian men playing checkers and shit.
I told y'all we used to stay over there. My daddy.
I was kind of just off the hill, but just over here.
And I used to be over there. That's where my daddy got
out
his good weed from.
I was like just down the street from the hill.
That's why I asked him. That's why I asked him who was
but
sitting
still,
there.
yeah,
Not him. The white man who was him about the hippie.
You can't stop being the hippie.
Every white man that I knew.
You see that ponytail?
He just said he was going to die when he leave Earth.
Look, every white man that I knew that was a hippie, they had long hair. They looked just like him.
They had a ponytail.
They had long hair. And they used to be on Hippie Hill in Forest Park. And my mom would have a whole bag of weed that much across the bottom of the thing for $25.
Hey, that's the stigma, man.
That ain't the stigma. That's real life. Them hippies was real as a motherfucker. The hippies and the Black Panthers and shit was like cousins.
Damn real. They most definitely would.
Trust, I know.
Like my Mexican partner.
I grew up on Hippie Hill.
Everywhere we took my Mexican partner with us, the first thing everybody said was him, where the weed at?
I'm hollering. Look at that hair. You would have been my homie if we went to that hair.
Oh, Joe, that was you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Joe. You can't tell me Joe wasn't hood.
I had some hair.
Show you one of my old pictures.
I never claimed nothing to be more than a Southside Hoosier.
Hey, I ain't mad.
Boy, Joe has
That's one of them. That Hoosier movie, one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, most definitely good.
Hoosiers is one of the best movies ever made in life. I didn't even know what Hoosier meant, but I knew that movie was the shit.
What you calling yourself doing?
I was trying to see the new ward restructuring because he said it went from 28.
So it went from 28 all the way to 14.
Yeah.
So a lot of motherfuckers is gone.
A lot of motherfuckers.
Well, they will be.
They won't get that 75 grand.
That's because they gonna get. That's why they took them away and gave them more money.
I hope they got other jobs like preachers. Because they done lost their church.
That's what I'm talking about.
They done lost their church.
Hold on, but I was talking to Joe before the show though, so I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing though.
It's not because it's more people on one person.
Such a big.
Let's see what he said.
You know what?
What do you think about it?
No, I've always done it as a full-time job. What gets me,
boy, 13 clowning.
Yeah, I know a lot of aldermen who have other jobs
wrapped around everything.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Most of them do, not all of them, but most of them do. You know,
when I was a kid, it wasn't like that. The alderman was the alderman. That was their job.
You know what? This is what I do. I do it for one reason. It isn't about the money. I do it for free tomorrow.
Like a motherfucker.
You know,
just like
I argue that it should have been made less, not more.
And
I argued
we
that
saw
on the floor.
Fail told us.
You know, people represent bigger areas for way less money, and if you're doing this for the money, you're in it in the wrong.
Yeah, you fucked up.
That
means you're going to need your city down.
A lot of people.
You're going to go down. If you're doing it for the money, you're going to go down.
Even if they're not doing it for the money, if they're doing it for the popularity, for the
that too.
It's a lot of people that do it for that too.
It's called public service, and that's why I feel that I can do it.
Yeah,
I actually love my
I know I can do it.
I lived here my whole life.
I remember at one time the president only made like $42,000 a year. When I was a kid,
the president didn't make no money.
Of the United States only made $42,000 a year.
Well, Truman, when he retired,
the presidents didn't make no money.
He went back to his house in Missouri.
Yeah.
He didn't go anywhere fancy.
He didn't. I'm telling you, at one time,
now you can't be around the
made
other
like
people now.
$42,000 a year. So for an alderman,
right?
What gets me though, the haters.
Haters.
They can't. They don't have to.
They hate you when they ain't you, Joe.
Well, and they don't have to just dislike you. They want to, oh, you're white trash, or your family's white trash, and all this other bullshit. And to them, well, I'm not gonna, but they can just.
They can just kiss your ass.
His entire ass.
Kiss his ass.
Because that's the Kicking and Company alderman. We'll fuck y'all up.
Fuck with Joe.
Y'all fuck with Joe, y'all.
He didn't say it. It's not. Sorry, his constituents. He didn't say it.
All you can do and all I do is I pray for them every night.
Like a motherfucker.
Because
you like my mama.
Because that's
I don't pray for my enemies.
Oh, you have to.
Ain't nobody else gonna do it.
Exactly.
No, because not for your enemies, for their soul.
For their soul.
Like a motherfucker.
Because
they weren't born bad.
Right. Well, it's not only
some
that.
Some people just ain't got sympathy, empathy, sympathy, 50, whatever the fuck those motherfuckers just don't fucking care.
This motherfucker that made up 5 different words.
Okay, sis. I'm just basically saying motherfuckers just don't fucking care no more.
We're here for a short time.
Yeah, you right about that.
But
you sure right about that.
But we have an eternity after this. Yeah. We were promised an eternity. I'm
if
not
you
being
believe
a preacher,
in it.
but we're promised an eternity.
Like a motherfucker. I hope so.
And I don't want to spend my eternity in hell.
Hell no.
And I'm not going to judge anybody.
Fuck no. Don't
I'm not going to go there if I don't have to.
They laugh at me because I tell them I ain't telling no lie. And they be like, it's a little one. I'm like, you think I'm finna bust hell wide open for a little lie? I'm like, no, I ain't.
God forgives you 7 times, 777 times according to the Bible.
Exactly.
So,
I might
little.
I might use mine.
I mean, hey.
Well, that's
God
why.
Forgives me because I'm not that good.
I mean, in Catholic school they taught us that, so it must be true.
That's what all the wars. A lot of the wars are started on is religion. And then they're fighting again in Palestine and everything too. They've been fighting the Holy War.
Who fighting now?
You know, though, talking about
the same area over there.
I mean, that's what they do. That's what they do.
Well, they had a break for a while. Yeah. But I'm saying though, you have 2 options. Yeah, whenever you go on to the next life, you either go in a hole and decompose, or you go somewhere better.
Well, you know, talking about Catholic school.
My opinion.
My last dumb joke of the day. So this kid is got the kid's in public school and he's failing in math, and the neighbor says, "Why don't you send him to Catholic school?" And you know, they're like, "Well, I don't know." So they send him to Catholic school, and instantly, like the next report card, he's getting straight A's. And the mom asks him, "So what made you so much better in math when you went to Catholic school?" He says, "When I saw what they did to that guy in the plus sign."
I remember that joke.
That's a kind of an old joke.
Yeah, that one. Oh, I remember that one.
I knew they were serious.
That's why I said, "Oh shit," I remember that one.
That's an old
from
one.
Catholic school. You know what was the dumbest thing I did? Okay, so you know, if you're not Catholic, you're not supposed to take the sacrament in Catholic mass, right? I'm Baptist.
The Holy Bread?
You're not supposed to take none of them. You're not even supposed to get in the fucking line because you're Baptist. You do that at your own Baptist church or whatever. So I'm in line. All my brothers and sisters like, come on, get out the line.
Get us fucking.
I'm like, sure.
You for the taste the juice, huh?
I wasn't even worried about that. My people got in line. My homies in line, motherfucking bitch. I'm getting in line. My sister them trying to pull me down, and I get up there and
priest or whatever.
The priest look at me and he say, "Miss Fowler, are you Catholic?" I said, "No, sir. I don't even know what Catholic is." He was like, "Baby, please sit down."
Yeah.
Nah, this is that holy angel. He's like, "Baby, please sit down." Like.
Catholic school was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Shit, not me.
They all thought they were better than me.
Man, you just was a goddamn.
You don't fit in nowhere. We just have to take you in the black community and hug you.
Look,
you go to the Baptist church.
All I know is I enjoyed Catholic school. The nuns was funny as fuck. When they be going off, cause you know, didn't nobody fuck with me. Ain't nobody never fuck with me. When they going off and beating other people with motherfucking rulers and shit, it was the funniest thing ever.
They would hit you on your
knuckles.
Boy, I got my ass whooped at school.
It was a wood-ass yardstick.
I went. Like I said, I got thrown out in.
He got thrown out
in 5th grade, so I went to Mellencrott, which was a public school. I remember Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, that's outside.
Mr. Jordan was about the biggest, meanest black teacher I think I ever had, and he would have that pointer, and he would have we'd be standing at our desk. And he'd be, "You are 8th grade." And he'd slam that down on that.
He ain't trying to steal free y'all ass. He is still in fur.
I'm telling you, I had one principal.
He is still in fur.
I had one principal, Mr. Lester at Duchesne Elementary. He had this long ass bottom of a Converse slip tennis shoe that he had cut off that he would hit kids with. That motherfucker went to hit me and I grabbed it out of his hand and hit his ass back. He said, "Oh, I'm calling your mama."
You knew you grew up at a time when your teachers can whip your ass. You know they don't.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
It's
because
kids
you know
that
one
used to
thing,
take whoopings when I was
Zelda Lee
growing up.
Abernathy ain't gonna let no white man whoop her motherfucking
Hey,
daughter.
but you did know you was going to school back in the day at the time.
This wasn't in Kinlock. This was at Duchesne. And this was a white man finna hit me. My pro-black, old Black Panther ass mama almost came up there in full garb. This bitch had a dashiki on when she walked through the door. I don't know what the fuck you mean. My mama told him she was right for hitting you back. And if you ever try to hit her again, I'm gonna hit you. And then her daddy gonna hit you. And then all of Kinlock gonna hit you. You don't hit my motherfucking daughter. I don't know what the fuck y'all was thinking. That shit wasn't happening. Yeah, ain't Ruby next door could whoop my ass. Anime up the street could whoop my ass. But ain't no white man whooping her black ass daughter. You got me fucked up.
I want to get into policing and crime now.
What time is it?
We're over time already. I already said. So that's why I'm trying not to get. That's why I'm not trying to get distracted. So I guess we got a couple things we've talked about. I don't know if I ask your opinion on them, but police. In my opinion, I believe police should live where they where they work. The second thing is that there's a black and a white police union, which we don't understand. And the third one is, well, it doesn't make sense.
I don't
It does make sense.
We agree to disagree.
You said we
They got
did, nigga.
historical black colleges, don't they?
Then
they need
let me finish.
a black motherfucking union. It ain't
They don't
different.
need it. Because it ain't
That
helping.
is different.
America has always needed white shit and black shit. I'm sorry.
Everything. I agree.
We got police union, we got a white police union, we got a black police. And what is either one of them motherfuckers
We
doing?
don't have a white police union.
Well, you might
we
well
have a police
Okay,
union
and then
a black
the state is thinking of taking over the police too. That's been so. As far as that goes, yes, I believe police in general, police is a police, so there should be one police union.
That's what I feel.
Second, I believe police should live where they patrol, where they work, so they can know their community.
But my boss don't have to
be less.
I don't have no bosses.
And as far as the state taking over, I don't know if that's a good idea because they don't know our St. Louis City.
Well, but here's a couple things.
What's your opinion?
Well, these are my opinions for what they're worth. And it's just,
that's what I said.
they're like assholes. Everybody
got it. Everybody got it.
Who was born without it.
I can tell you, I'm not for residency in the city of St. Louis for anybody. I mean, you know,
really?
I think that.
Thank you.
You don't think if you live there, you want to, as a police officer, you live there, you wouldn't want to make it better?
No, I don't want to live where I work.
Well, it's not that.
I'm sorry.
I do.
But
I'm sorry. I want to live where I work.
I want to live in the city.
No, it's not. It's not that. It isn't that. But do you think that if you force a refuse driver to live in the city,
that's different?
No, well, no, it's not. But
he's not going to pick up trash.
But they have to.
Yeah.
You know, and the state had control of the police for a very long time. Okay.
They do a good job.
Well, it isn't that they did a good or bad job, and I don't think murders are up or down over the state. But the one thing I can say that since the city's had it, the Manning table was at 1,300 police officers. And they've gone from defunding the police and found that's just not a very good word. So now they say we're over-policed, and they keep dropping that Manning table. And so now we have less and less police.
St. Louis City is never over-policed. The police don't even.
It ain't enough police to cover this motherfucker.
And I drove on Bad Place for 2 years in the city.
It ain't even got pulled. Well, now you know that's fucked up.
Well, and of course,
time for that.
No,
exactly.
And they should pull people over. I got pulled over. I wasn't happy, but I got pulled over. But I looked
profiled.
I was not profiled, and I was not profiled.
Yeah.
That was a lie from the police chief that said that. I said we were all going the same speed on the highway, and I was driving a high-profile vehicle because I had a truck that was a little fancier and bigger. But I can tell you this much: since I got that ticket, even though I wasn't happy about it, when I go down Highway 44 to downtown, Man, I put my cruise control on.
Got your life together.
And cars skid around me.
Yes,
I'm telling you, I got my cruise on 55. No, that was here. No, it was here. No, it was.
Joe, County Brown.
Right here.
Joe gotta walk a thin line.
But then
he can't do the shit.
But they called the news on me and they made this. And they want to make it more of a story than it is. But
exactly.
But I
gotta walk a thin line.
No, I can tell you, I believe that people should get pulled over. It did make me start really paying attention to my speedometer, but you know, but I can tell you this:
traffic. You weren't going fast.
I wasn't going. I just think I got picked out.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't nobody get flagged no more.
But that chief lied.
I'm always in the middle lane.
I felt that was racially profiled. That was just a flat out lie.
Don't nobody get flagged.
Joe said that's a lie. What they lied on you?
That was a flat out lie.
I saw it.
And you know, but going beyond that. And going back, I do think that we need police pulling people over. It does. This way they won't kill me as I'm trying to do the speed limit on the highway.
More temp tags.
The temp tags need to be taken care of. The problem with the temp tags, people go in and buy a car knowing that I can afford a $300 car payment. When they go to pay the tax,
I don't ride temps.
the tax is the problem.
Call the plates.
What they should have did, like they did, like they said they was gonna do, put the shit in the notes.
Yeah, go lay back down. Call the plates. My car go right to plates.
Every car I had, I go right. I never rode around with no damn.
Well, I didn't roll them. I don't give a fuck. I didn't roll them.
Until they stole them from your house.
Because you right. Sometimes you got the money to buy the car and not the money for the motherfucking taxes that should be included in the price of the car. It should be included. When you buy a car in Illinois, I done bought multiple cars in Illinois and got my place the same day because they put
gasoline. Everything else you got
to
pay tax.
The real answer to the question is,
add it into that.
I think residency as a whole, you know, because my son is a paramedic firefighter. He's actually he works in Melville, but he lives down the street from me, and I would hate that if they had a residency where my grandkids live, you know,
he'd be staying busy.
And I can't. I would have to say, my son, who's also a medal available receiver, that he loves what he does, and I think most of the police officers do. The problem is there are just like
bad apples.
It's bad apples with any bunch. Any bunch.
You know, I grew up, like I told you, in Catholic church, and when I was little, you know, when I got in trouble, they sent me straight to the church, and no priest, and I was a young kid, no priest ever tried doing any sexual.
Touching you and say, fuck that.
I never saw a priest in Kenlock. Ain't nobody ever said our priest in Kenlock did anything. At Holy Angels.
Like a motherfucker.
As a joke, I always say, I'm gonna sue the church. I was a good-looking kid. Now I got a complex.
Okay, you ain't
that was a joke.
What the fuck was that?
It's a bad joke.
Bad joke.
He acting like Justin now.
Sorry, that was a funny joke.
That was a bad joke.
The most dirty and inappropriate shit is funny.
But the
that's Justin's joke.
The truth is, yes, there are one or two bad priests.
Yeah.
You can't judge them all, because it was a lot. When I was in high school, my girlfriend was pregnant, and we got pregnant, and we've married now 48 years. My son's 49.
Joe, boy, you were doing a lot of fucking back in the day.
That was a sin.
Joe was doing a lot of fucking back in them days.
That was a big sin.
Joe was doing all fucking back in the day.
I was a knucklehead, you know, but you know,
Mike Brown, we got the war, man.
It was Father Hanson at St. Joan of Arc Church that sat down and said, Joe, look, you're going to have, because they're going to be so close in age to your kids.
Which one the iPhone?
That you're going to want to be their friends, and they only have one set of parents, and you got to be their friend.
No, I'm not being. You be your friends with your kids. I'm not finna be no friend with my kids.
But I'm just telling you,
it's all going to the
judge everybody by
I'm not
Mr. Joe, this how the
I'm gonna
police
be the best of daddy, but
all the police
but I'm not gonna be friends with you. I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be able, like, a police shouldn't be able to be like, I don't feel like
I can't be friends with my kids like that. I'm sorry.
A friend and a mother and a father is two different things.
That shit's got to be separated.
All be by the book. They should all be a robot.
My kids will talk to me about
there you go.
There you go. I'm still not your friend.
There you go. On that aspect, I'm 100 on
that. I'm not gonna judge.
Like a mother. Well, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
So in an aspect, I am my kid's friend.
But no, in that right, you so. But when I'm talking, it gets to a point where Your kids get
Would
to
I
smelling
kick it
their
with
ass.
them? Would I play with them like I don't like that? No.
No, not at all.
They know I'm their mama.
There you go.
But
That's why I
my
say you got to
kids
separate the two.
Trust me.
Like a motherfucker.
Like they are supposed to trust
Like a
their
motherfucker.
friends.
Shit.
My kids are your age, so
my kids trust me like they're supposed to trust their mama. And their mama got them better than anyone in the world would ever have.
You can't judge the police by
and we kick
by one or two bad police officers. And the police officer that pulled me over, he was doing his job.
He was doing his job.
And he did not pull me over because I was white and he was black, and that was a bunch of crap. And
they tried to use that card.
The chief tried to say that, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter. He was doing his job.
Okay.
And that's all good. I get so tired.
What the fuck did we smoke? I'm high as shit. How many times I hit that shit on and ate all this candy?
I get tired of, even
hearing the black and white shit, Joe. Just say it.
Well, I do because if
you know you do, because I would get tired of hearing it too.
If you walk down a street in my neighborhood, even now. Do it at night. I'll get a phone call. Some black guys walking down the street.
I don't want to be in a neighborhood like that.
And that's why you got the black and white shit going on, because it exists. So stop saying. But if you was white walking down here, I ain't gonna call him.
You right.
And that white man is the one that's who got bodies in his basement.
Here's the thing. The point I'm making.
It's always black and white.
The point isn't about that. The point is that him, you are being judged by the black people that are no
and I should be able to walk down the street while a motherfucker calling a motherfucker saying it's a black dude walking down the damn street.
You should be judged by you.
No kidding. 53 years
like a motherfucker.
I love Brick. She's nice. and she's nice.
But she gonna call you a nigga.
She better not.
She sure tried.
But the thing is,
let me take off my earrings.
But the thing is, you're being judged by a lot of black people that are not good. Priests are being judged by a lot of other priests that are not good. Police officers are being judged. But my son's a police officer. My daughter is in charge of 911. My son's a firefighter medic. And nobody could tell me that my son doesn't care for the people that he's trying to help. So there's a lot of good police officers.
No, what I'm saying, but look what he was raised with. If you have somebody that's preaching
good morals.
If you preaching morals to somebody, they would not have to.
Mr. Joe.
You know what I'm saying?
So you see how you saying all the police not bad apples and they shouldn't be judged, but when it comes to like melanated people, if it's a group of us, we all get judged. So it's kind of hard for us to just be like, it's only a couple.
It don't matter how much money you got, what you look like.
It's hard to relate to that particular topic.
And that has to change. I know with my little brother, I pulled over because I saw police friends of mine, keep in mind, when he was 12 years old. They had him and his sister, because sometimes they would take all of them to a show, But anyway, and I pulled over to talk to them, and they were in the back seat going, shoot, man, he can talk to the police, man. He can talk to the police. I got him out of the car. I said, no, you demand respect from the police. They need to respect you, too. And if a police officer, comes to you and is disrespectful to you,
their badge number.
Well, it's not just a matter of getting this badge number. You really have to sit down and go, why are you disrespecting me?
You have to understand the situation.
No, I wouldn't even understand the situation. I would say, look, officer, I'm not disrespecting you, and I inspect the current.
And we done seen a lot of people get their head blown off of that. A lot of black folks got their head blown off of that.
I also suggest you be humble. And you talk like a grown up, but
and you still ain't got your head up.
You got somebody out there gonna want to be that asshole.
Well, because there's jerks out there.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody ain't no asshole though.
But I would, if and certainly if I were black, and I'm not, and I don't know what it's like, and I get it. I get a lot of stuff. I get why there's not a lot of black people in the trades, because back then, when I was growing up, your family wasn't, your dad wasn't a plumber or your dad wasn't a carpenter. Yeah, we got a lot of black laborers. Yeah. You know, but
motherfuckers didn't take up no trades.
Right, because you couldn't get in them because
like
you
a motherfucker.
You have to be a trade by nature.
But
natural trade. You have to be by nature.
So I get
they didn't offer that in school. Like
my family was trade by nature. Like they was auto mechanics. They was
But you're being judged by.
That was one of my pet things. I hate I didn't take advantage of the trade school and shit.
That have done things that they shouldn't do. Just like the priests that are being judged by priests that shouldn't do stuff.
Man, I love
you're better than that. Everybody in this room is better than that. I mean I don't see you guys as black or white.
We people.
She reminds me of my daughter.
Boy, your daughter outside.
Bricks and shit talking daughter.
Yeah. So all of us think that we're better than everybody. And like I was telling Brick earlier, God had one message. Love one another.
Like a motherfucker.
And we can't get past it. And if we ever get past that, and I don't mean to be preaching, but if we ever get past that, this world will be a better place.
It will be.
You know?
It will be.
You know, it was, I came
It's called having common sense, but the world just ain't got common sense.
I came from an era that if you dated a black girl, or if a black girl dated a white guy, or a black guy dated a white girl, that was, I think, jail offensive.
So,
and if you
that's
you definitely would get your ass
kicked
somewhere.
That's horrible shit there.
You know, now it's getting to be more common that you can see that because it does seem like this younger generation, each generation, we were all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And of course now I'm not about drugs, but the sex and rock and roll is good. That's just seems like
Joe say I'm still outside. Joe on all that. Talk this shit, Joe.
We just have to really,
enjoy life, man.
The younger groups seem to be getting better at it.
No, that's why I just told y'all. The farther we get removed from that shit, these people. It's gonna be always, like I say, it's always gonna be racism, but that shit gonna be to the minimum because it's so many. It's so
only reason is because America is so biracial and will continue to become more biracial.
They about to be out of here, ain't they?
If you got somebody that probably was racial, then they kids have a lot of kids by some black people.
My racist ass teacher
and knock the racists about
came to the school and all of her grandkids
like a motherfucker
are black.
But Brick,
yeah, you ain't even lying, bro.
But you're right on the part that you're saying you need to let your kids know their heritage.
Like a motherfucker.
That's true. And again, I've never been over to Italy, nor do I have any plans to go there. But
it's installed in you.
Well, I know that,
and in school, they learn about Italy.
Like a motherfucker.
They learn about Christopher Columbus. They learn about all of those different things.
But we didn't learn about all our shit.
We didn't learn.
We learned about their shit.
They didn't even have Black History
like
Month at school.
And then you got 1 month, and then you sang the same songs, and
same people.
You saw the same movie,
the Golden
and the kids laughed at it.
Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman,
W.E. Du Bois.
And it's triple times more people than that.
You know what I'm saying?
They only did the same.
That's what I'm saying. And it's triple times more people.
Langston Hughes. Yeah, you might hear about
Rosa Parks,
Harlem,
George Washington Carver,
Rosa Parks, and
Rosa Parks.
So
wasn't even a bitch who really did.
About 8 of them.
Because she was too light.
Rough out here.
She didn't even have to. The bitch.
She wanted her to be light. They wanted her to be light.
Married.
And married.
Because the girl was children out of wedlock.
Yeah, the girl was
caught at COVID.
Yeah.
So you learn about bitches that ain't even real.
They had to use somebody
that was married, like
bullshit.
And all that.
Bullshit.
Because she was light.
So what kind of work do you do?
I'm a cook, but we got a record label. Video stuff, do promotion, I do podcasts.
He's in everything. He'll do everything,
I work
Joe.
in this hotel.
And he makes clothes.
Make clothes. It ain't nothing.
He do a little bit of everything. You see what the hat say, Joe? What the hat say?
What's the hat say? I can't tell. It's a hustler.
And
you can't hustle without the
STL.
So the can't.
Not a hustler, Joe.
Exactly. You can't spell hustle without the STL.
Yeah, we hustle. Not a hustler. We just hustle. We get to the money game.
Everybody out there to Lou and around the world. Big Fair had a lovely day. Seeing all y'all come through.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have another election episode at the end of the month too. So if you're available, we'll get a couple more. We'll get some more in depth about it.
Bring us all, and we can have a debate.
I wish you would.
I'm gonna get some more mics. I'm gonna get some more.
Who we gonna debate with?
We'll get some podiums.
No, it ain't gonna be. They ain't gonna joke. They ain't gonna debate.
Not
us. Shit.
I'll debate the guy.
Y'all the moderators.
Oh yeah.
I ain't no moderator.
He'll probably be too scared. He won't be able to handle it.
I ain't rocking out.
He probably won't handle my questions.
No, we're. I don't even know if you have any
questions.
Rick might scare him. I don't know.
Nah.
Make sure you put fear into his competition.
Brick's got me scared.
Brick's always scare you. Shit, I always be like, it's okay, it's okay.
No, sister's just giving. She's like giving her information.
Still is what it is.
No fighting.
Is what it is.
So yeah, the best thing. Do you agree with James on accountability? I mean, St. Louis starts with each individual person.
Okay,
we are St. Louis.
We're St. Louis.
Personally, you do your part. You do your part.
If we pick up our trash, take care of stuff, demand our representatives to represent us, not to worry about the world. Worry about our neighborhood.
Yes.
World last, locally first.
Locally come before the world does. You show right.
And that the guy I'm running against seems to feel that I'm old school because that's all I give a shit about.
If you were old school, you wouldn't be here right now.
Well, I'm old school when it comes to this is old school to me. I don't, this is old school to me. I mean, this is talking. No, just saying, a group of people.
Real topics.
Even though we got these microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
At least we're not all full of shit and we're saying what we
you
mean.
need to set that up then.
We got topics. We all care about ourselves.
And we don't even have to agree.
Because nobody is gonna ever totally agree, and that's the whole issue and the point. Everybody is different and everybody have their own opinions. But as long as once you get through disagreeing or whatever it is, and we trying to find a solution, we just trying to find a solution to a lot of stuff, of problems and situations, and then plus everybody is different. They're gonna always feel different. It's religion, sex, everything. So it is what it is. If you can sit down and have a debate about something and walk away still cool, you good.
One thing we do agree on, we want to make our city better.
That's what I'm saying. We trying to make it.
One of the steps.
That's the whole thing.
We all agree on that.
Some of us might take a 360-degree approach, and some of us might just don't.
Go
somewhere else with shit.
The dumbest ones in the room. The dumbest ones.
Hey now.
In the room, not this particular room.
Okay.
Be the smartest ones.
The politicians and the business owners, and I'll tell you why. I did own, I owned the car wash and auto repair shop, right? But the guys doing the work knew more. If I was buying cheaper, those guys would come in and say, Joe, this stuff's not working. The guys doing the work,
they know what's the deal.
You empower your employees. You listen to the people you represent. Because when you feel you're better than them and you're smarter than them, you're the stupidest person.
Like a motherfucker. Yeah. And I hate stunners and motherfuckers who try to be out in front of her. I hate people like that.
I tell them that in the teaching world, you got all the people
there you go, bro.
You got the people that's over you want to come in and try to tell you what you can do better in your class and how you should do this and that when your ass sitting around the round table drinking the drinks and things, just making up shit. But if you not in, now they'll tell you shit, and some of them have never had kids. Some of them never had kids. They ain't gonna do shit. So they telling you because that's not their job. They want to sit back and come and tell you what to do in the classroom and what should work when they are never in the classroom. Some of them never stepped a foot in the classroom. Some of them never had a kid, so they can't even tell you about life experience as being a parent. They can't do nothing. They want to come in and tell you what can be done and all that. I'm like, and how they more important. I'm like, you ain't important about shit because guess what? If I don't come to these schools, if the teachers don't come to these schools and teach these kids and deal with everything that's going on, your ass that's over the teachers, you ain't gonna have no job. Because who you gonna administrate?
Your business is who you
administrate.
That's why Kim Gardner finna be without a job.
The workers are a reflection of the leadership.
Always goes first.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Who you administrate?
Yeah, they always cut that off the dragon.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be hard for the city to get together because. People don't own nothing. People don't know how to take care of shit because they have nothing to take care of. So they're not gonna care about shit. They're not gonna be able to build the city back because they have nothing. They have no examples. They don't even have a plot of grass.
Motherfucker take very good care of.
That's what I'm saying. Them the people that pick up litter. They have stuff. The
That's
people
real
that
talk,
have
bro.
nothing.
That's real
If
talk.
you
They
are
don't
a
know how
renter,
to.
you don't give a fuck
They
about
have to
your
be taught.
shit like a owner.
Sometimes you might.
You sure right, sis.
I learned that in
Damn
Ferguson.
right.
You can get put out
In
your shit for not taking care
Ferguson,
of your
all
shit.
of the owners
Exactly.
have moved, right? All of the owners
They
have
be out of
moved.
state. They be
We
in a whole
been
other
left.
state.
We been left that
Like a
community.
motherfucker.
The renters are there.
Yeah.
And the shit, the doors are hanging off.
Like
the
a motherfucker.
hinges
What do you think's
is
gonna
trash.
What do you think's gonna happen here
The same thing.
if the people leave?
Yeah.
Because people can't sell
People
their
been
houses.
leaving.
Who's our funding below
We
that
only have
300,000 mark, right?
300,000.
Yeah, is
That means
have you
people
heard of
been
that?
leaving.
They been leaving.
No, it's.
When I was a kid, it was millions of us.
No, I know.
Rebuild
You're not
the
telling me
city,
that-
rebuild it to make the shit look
You know,
decent. God damn. Like you said, if I'm looking at some shit that look fucked up every day, I'ma start thinking fucked up ways.
Look, a baseball game used to be filled with just St. Louis people.
Like a
at
motherfucker.
noon on a Wednesday.
I'm talking about Kinlock.
Wow.
Our baseball games in Kinlock, I'm talking about used to be like that.
I'm talking about Bush Stadium.
Oh, you talking about Bush Stadium? Okay, yeah. Oh, that's always.
And no, it's not.
Hey.
Now it's people from other places that fill it up.
No, they come from, yeah, you're right, from Iowa.
When I was a
Boy, it's
kid,
Cardinal Nation, boy.
St. Louis people would
Fill
fill it
that up.
up
Yeah.
at noon
Like a motherfucker.
on a Wednesday.
Cardinal Nation big.
Yeah.
Cardinal Nation super big.
You know why it's so big?
Super big.
Because all of us have moved.
Like,
out
yeah,
from-
you're right. Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, that could be another reason too. So there's no faking on that. Yeah, because Cardinals is very known around the world.
Any game
they
you
got,
watch, that
they got
the
followers
Cardinals
like the
is playing,
Yankees got.
No matter what city they in,
They
you
got
gonna
followers
see a
like the
section
Yankees got.
Of St. Louis Cardinal fans.
They got followers like the Yankees got.
If the
No
Brewers
faking.
is showing it,
Man, come on, bitch.
if
Better
the
stop
Dodgers showing it in California, we went to a Dodgers game.
More Cardinals there than the Dodgers.
It was so many Cardinal motherfuckers. We like, what
More
the
Cardinals there than the
fuck?
Dodgers. No faking. More Cardinals there than the Dodgers. No faking.
Well, I have to go start actually knocking on doors.
Like a
All
motherfucker.
right, handle your business.
Yeah, I'm
We
gonna
finna
couple
go.
signs too. We're gonna go ahead and just clock out anyway. What you got?
All
over there,
right,
lady?
y'all. Y'all know this is Bricks Montana, and y'all can find me on all platforms of social media at Bricks Montana and the Bricks Montana, of course, on that. And check out the interview I did with Tweezy the Don on Whose Mic Is It on Wednesday. It was an awesome interview.
Oh.
Thanks, Tweezy.
He'll be here next Saturday. I just heard. So
All right, so next Saturday. And he did an awesome interview, y'all. It was off the chain.
Okay.
Y'all go watch it.
Tell them I'm just, they should just pick me anyway. It's y'all girl Gina Wayne on Facebook, Instagram. Y'all know I'm all this. I'm trying all this shit. But anyway, you catch me here each and every Saturday on Kicking It Company, and each and every Monday night on Talk That Talk Cocktail Hour. That's Talk That Talk Cocktail Hour. Also, W3E. I gotta call it my chest. W3EW.
Or
You gotta call it my
the
chest.
name of your shit.
I know what my shit is. Women empowerment, embracing and encouraging other women.
Thought you might have had a little mind.
No, you know I was eating chips too.
Okay.
Thank y'all. Like I say, once again, thank everybody who participated in our first fundraiser with Pretty Pop Popcorn. We raised a lot of money. Be looking out for other events. You also still can just donate. Nothing is too small to W3W 2019. That's our Cash App. Also, like I said, just big things to come. We preparing
Big
again
things
for
big things
our
popping.
main thing is the end of the year. Our Christmas program, like I said, was awesome. Just past Christmas, it's just gonna be even better. And the more we get support from you guys, the better we can make it for the community. Yeah. And I always say, help us, help you, help us, help others. So just be looking out for it. Like I said, if you can't participate or come out, or you don't, make a big donations, $1, 50 cents, anything is welcome. You can just send it straight to the Cash App. And we are legit, so we do have all our paperwork in order and all of that. So if anybody want to help us, let me know. Let me know.
Big dog.
Y'all know what it is. I'm outside with the cool kids.
No, they don't know what it is.
We say it every time though.
Tell them what it is.
12 is in the building, man. We go way beyond the label.
Okay.
Just tap in. Pull up Young Teezy, T33 on Spotify. Support.
Yeah.
Get it. Let's get it.
We'll see you back here.
The 8th. April 8th with the crew. We outside.
Okay.
Play our music this time. We too loud at the Christmas.
He plans ahead. This gentleman.
That's a man who trying to do. He trying to do his damn thing.
You know
all that is.
Somebody got to be working.
He trying to do the damn thing.
Put me down. No fake. Send you the email. There you go.
I love all rappers that work every day instead of being on Facebook trying to stunt and shit like that. This shit don't impress me.
And just communicate.
Yeah, it does not impress me.
You want to do okay? Don't like not show up or like.
I don't want to hear about you finna go do this and do that.
We got a month to get
Where
it together.
the fucking music at? I want to hear the music.
Well, everybody mad at me because I said some stuff Monday that made people mad. I don't give a fuck. Because like I said, as a consumer,
you're providing a service for your
that's what I'm saying. I let people come on my show for free when I should be charging because promotion costs a whole lot of money and all of that. And motherfuckers get mad in the group because you don't come to everything they do. And I don't got $25 and $35 and $20 for everybody fucking show every time y'all go. So then y'all feel like I didn't support y'all.
I'm happy with that.
But a lot of people feel like you don't support them because they have, like I told them, don't get mad at me because you got 30 fucking shows in 3 months
and you doing the
same stuff over and over, and you mad.
Tired.
But because y'all say, oh well, if I was a star, if you was a star to me, period, because you my partner, I know about you, so y'all all stars to me, and I'm gonna rep y'all regardless. But don't get mad at me because I didn't spend my money and come to every show, and then you want to say I ain't supporting, and like you say, and then you doing the exact same shit.
Over and over.
Motherfucker, I synced that.
Yeah, you synced it.
I'm proud of you. I'm gonna keep sharing it. I'm gonna send other people to do it, but don't get mad at me because I make this statement that I don't do it, because I heard a lot of people saying, oh, it's us who don't support. Motherfuckers, I work 2 jobs.
Right now. Tell them stop counting your pockets.
I don't have the money. Like old boy said, well, I appreciate what you did for us, Gina. If I ever have anything that's going on and I said come out, you ain't never got to pay for nothing to come in nothing that we doing. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't mind paying sometime or whatever. That's cool. And I had to give shots out to Rocky, always come drop me off something, and I was upset about it because every time Rocky have something, I'm either going out of town. Every time I was out of town. So stop being mad at everybody because they can't make everything. We love y'all and support y'all, but our money is not that long.
Stop counting their pockets.
Motherfuckers getting their feet like that. That's some girly ass shit. I'm sorry.
We're in the 4th ward.
Yeah, I'm about to ask you, what ward are you in, Mr. Justin?
4th ward.
That's over here somewhere.
Tell them about you real quick. Glad you're having you back. Right. Tell the people.
No, I'm in the 4th ward. And obviously, would appreciate everybody's support, but
I'll let them know.
The important part is your vote.
Yes.
And I will leave this not on a political thing, but you guys are my family. Here, I love you guys.
We love you too. We love you too, Joe.
Anybody mess with you guys?
We be telling them too, don't make us call Joe, cause y'all in that word, we gonna call Joe.
And if you got a problem, it's the Citizen Service Bureau.
Well, you know what's funny? I get
my trash issue.
I get my cell phone. I tell people call me, because I could enter it myself in the Citizen Service Bureau, and I call the head of the department. That's what I'm doing right now.
I like a recycle bin in the back.
Right,
if we could get one of these bottles and cans we go through.
Well, if it's a business, they won't. So if it's
really? They want you to buy and rent it.
Only for residential. Okay,
yeah,
wow, I didn't know that.
It
says use more waste than regular residential. You think?
Say you got a business, you pay for this trash.
Exactly.
Free.
Yeah,
I heard nothing.
We hear nothing.
So we appreciate you, and we're trying to make a difference. Let's hear how can we help the community? What can we do?
I mean, you know what? You guys are, to me, you're young people.
Yeah.
And you're my kids' age. And you know what? Just get out in your community, speak what you speak. Mm-hmm. I like what Brick says, that if you're black and you don't know what your family went through. My family's from Sicily. We weren't here through all that. Mm-hmm. We come over from Italy. But your family lived it.
Yes.
And if you don't vote,
you ain't getting
slapping them upside their head.
What'd you fight for in the first place?
It was a waste of time.
You slapping them upside their head.
But I'm also one that gets upset when somebody kneels when it's the flag, because a lot of people died for this country in World War I.
That's a whole nother
but
story.
we didn't.
We
died, and y'all still spitting our face. I'm not that's even alley-oop for your ass. I'm not even standing up for that.
You see him throw the alley-oop?
It's not my anthem.
don't either.
They wrote that anthem. We were slaves. We were.
I don't either.
We should not.
I don't pledge allegiance to shit.
And
they do that every day at my school.
I do this. My kids, I told them if they stand up, I'll come to school and whoop your ass.
You want to know something? That's what I love about it.
I don't stand up for that.
We're gonna know.
Joe fucked that up.
I'm with you for now.
He said he won't end it on a plane.
And my kids.
That's a drunk Irish song that they stole. That ain't even an anthem for us. That's a drunk Irish song.
To the flag.
Because you're a dumbass.
But that's what I love about it. That's what I love about
For
it.
which is
The Republic, which was
under
state.
one nation.
You ain't even saying it right.
I wouldn't say it right
now.
now.
Political and where everything else.
It's just my thing.
I
In your opinion.
Fuck the Pledge of
But you know
Allegiance.
what?
I don't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
I don't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I told you
Y'all
that.
playing chicken in the
Now,
room.
my grandmother
I played with
stood
that
up
school
for
and didn't
the
even know.
anthem. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother stood up for the anthem. My mama did not. And I get my mama.
But a lot of black people died in World War I.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But then when they came home,
they got treated like shit just like the rest of them.
they couldn't eat in certain restaurants.
They still get dogged out.
No,
It ain't no. When it comes home from wars,
They still get treated bad.
all of them get treated bad.
I got 2 military sons. I got a
All of them
military
get
father.
treated
I
bad.
got
Ain't no
military
color to get
uncles.
treated bad if you went to war.
And that was wrong.
They all get
And those
treated
people
bad.
that did that, and those people that had slaves, they may have got their way here, but I'm pretty sure, and I will never judge anybody, but I hope that they prayed that God forgive them.
Oh, yeah, that's all on that, Joe.
I
That's real
hope
talk,
they
Joe.
do too and watch
That's real
down
talk,
from
Joe.
heaven
Because
at they black grave.
That's real talk, Joe. Exactly.
I hope Washington, he had slaves. His kids got black kids.
Yeah.
I hope every racist
What happened?
that
He had black
died
kids.
Yeah.
gets to
He had black kids too. They found that
all
out.
of their children end up with black kids.
But I'm talking about you pitch the skin,
Man, you
it
know who got
hurts.
the fire.
If I smack you in the motherfucking face, it hurts.
I bet.
That's right.
I mean, it don't.
And if a racist has a black
You're a pretty
child,
big guy.
There you go. I mean, color ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
We all feel the same exact shit. Color ain't fuck some color. It
but
don't
all
mean
I'm
shit.
saying, I hope every
Yeah.
Ku Klux Klan member, every white person that hung a nigga,
they
that they
They
look
probably got some
down
black
on
kids.
this
They
earth
do.
They probably got some
and
black
have
kids.
a family reunion.
They got some
full
black
of
kids.
niggas. That's the nigga curse.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, no.
You
Jeez,
set that
sis
up,
on that
man.
one, boy.
Don't get myself in trouble.
Yeah,
But,
Joe.
She right there too.
That's the
That's real talk, though. Damn real shit.
revenge.
Like a motherfucker.
But
A house full of black
Christopher
kids.
X, for motherfucking Rosa Parks.
House
for
full of black
motherfucking
kids.
Harriet Tubman. For all of them.
House
That
full of
these
black kids,
racists, whether they pray to God and they in
Yeah,
heaven
dog.
or they in hell, however they look here, I hope
Yeah,
when they look, their ancestry is
know,
of all
you
black.
You want to know something?
You get wet.
That's a mother's curse, because my mom would say, and when you grow up, I hope you have kids just like
Yeah.
you. That's
No,
the
the real
mother's.
talk.
That's the mother's.
Because how you treat your parents, your kids is going to treat you
I
like
hope
that.
all
That's
them
the-
Ku
No,
Klux
they going to
Klan
treat you worse.
fans,
That's what's going to go
I hope
on.
all the Ku Klux Klan end up with Black Panthers
Like
for
a
grandkids.
oh,
Now you tell me that ain't justice, bitch?
yeah,
Boy,
dog.
bad.
You silly as a motherfucker, sis. No fake it. Boy. That shit is wild, man. What's up, mixtape cover? Mr. Boss Click Back Beavers on Instagram. Mr. No Quitting on Facebook.
He said back beaver.
I said Back Beavers.
Oh,
Ain't nothing wrong with some beaver. Ain't nothing wrong
Exactly.
with a little beaver.
No fake it. Go get all 17 of my albums, world.
Talk to him.
Don't fake it.
Ain't nobody working
Go
like
get them. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, niggas ain't got 17.
Justin can't get my city, my
Yeesh. Sorry, Justin.
But they want you to come
Last
to every
week-
show.
Tweet silly as a motherfucker, boy.
music. Last week we had Scally's boys in
All day.
Spring
Two
City.
hands
Shout
to
out.
Brody them. They
Y'all
got
missed
straight
me.
up. Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah,
about
you missed a good one
Yeah.
last week.
We had, they
sis.
got some hits.
Yeah, they most
Yeah,
definitely do,
I
bro.
would have checked them out
They
last
most
night at the little
definitely
battle.
do, bro.
They
There's no
be
faking on that.
Next week we got Tweezy coming by, and then
That's why I told them, I don't even like people shit. I said, that shit tight.
No, they get.
I went to check them out last night. They was like, thanks, Gina.
Like, they got that old school feel.
That shit.
That's that old school feel. Them old school.
I watch the show. I normally don't watch it if I'm not here, but I watch it.
Straight up. Well, 2 hands salute every world. Love seeing y'all, but it's about it.
We gotta get up 3 o'clock.
Goodbye.
Yeah, my bedtime.
Oh, shit.
You gotta go take a nap?
No, I gotta go.
Hey, don't feel bad, because I take naps.
Me too, at 12 o'clock.